Greetings! Welcome to game number 1 between Yakult Brothers and NGX. Sunsfan here with Cinder, and we have some cool picks. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
This smoke will turn into any kills unless they can run into the carry, Muerta, with the new facet, which we'll discuss in just a bit. Well, they actually might run into her.
She broke it below.
Yep. Well, dead shot for the vision, and out she goes. I want to talk about the negative stuff first, Cinder.
As you do.
Ollie picked Silencer. I thought this hero was supposed to be dead. To my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, the hero was picked in the last however many patches, literally because of the reverberating silence, and that is no longer in existence. This one, it feels like both facets are kind of like, hey, you should play this hero carry or core in some respect.
I'm trying to remember the chronology of when he got reverberating silence, if that happened simultaneously with getting back the old last word or not, because in that case, it's a little bit hard to say whether reverberating was the reason or if it was getting back this spell, right? Because Silencer has been changed, I don't know, 5 times in the last 2 years, it almost feels like. They've really tried to move his spells around and change him around, but at the very least for now, Yakult Brothers think this is still a viable pick. Together with Storm in particular, it's a complete classic. You ball lightning in, you global silence, and you kill someone. So, pretty straightforward stuff. And then Muerta overall first pick here, playing with the quick draw as a carry. I looked at this facet when it was introduced as long ago as yesterday.
Good old days.
It looks really good. So I'm genuinely not that surprised to see them rate the hero this highly, but let's see if it's going to work out as well as we expect.
Yep, I'm excited. Been used to seeing the... I mean, even support Muerta is fun to watch, but having a little bit of variety never hurt anybody.
And when this hero was introduced the first time, I feel like people were playing a carry, and then they moved things around, and it became more and more of a position 4.
Every new hero starts out as a carry.
That's right. People love getting their gold and seeing how far they can take it, right?
That's right. So NGX's lineup, I mean, the first thing I think of is redonkulous push. You got Dragon Knight, you have Pugna, you have Shadow Shaman, you have Leshrac without the usual facet that we've been seeing in the past. So Diabolic Edict actually hurts buildings. Their push is insanely good.
Yeah, it's really cool to see Chronoptic Nourishment. I'm honestly more excited about that than any other
Yeah, you would
game. Just because, I mean, Leshrac, his identity forever was Edict on towers, and then we just lost that for half a year, basically. Nobody took this, but they changed Chronoptic now, so it is a flat 25% at all levels instead of scaling up. I think it started at something like 12 before, and then outscaled to 15 eventually, or 25 eventually, but it doesn't really matter, right? This is a laning ability. And Sumail will be putting this to good use to harass in mid. And this is also the way he loves to play Lesh in mid is very oppressive. Give him more mana, you know what he's going to do. So, interesting stuff.
Yep, definitely one of his best heroes. Looking forward to seeing what he can come out with it here.
He gains 10 mana every time he hits Emo. Right now. I just checked. That's a lot.
Yeah,
every
good.
10 hits, he gets to cast a free Lightning Storm. Pretty crazy. Actually gets more than 10.
Wow. Yeah, why don't you do the true calculations?
Yeah.
Give us the decimal point.
I think it was 12.3 there.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you don't really like numbers, do you? Whenever I talk about numbers, you're like, this is boring.
Is that me?
That's you being me.
I feel like, oh, okay. So you just burned yourself, man.
No,
All
that's how you were. That's how you were being me yesterday, and I was like, that's
I love my numbers.
That's you.
No,
that's true.
That's you being the Pugna Butler.
Oh, he's back. Well, no, he's not truly back. He can't give mana anymore, right?
You can still give health as usual.
I guess he's still a butler in our hearts. As Boca pulling the wave, shenanigans.
Yep. He's playing with diminishing returns again like yesterday instead of the Eternal Empowerment.
Yep. And this time they don't really have any wombo combo that he can fuck up with the Shockwave, so that's good.
I could skewer everybody out of Centaur Stomp.
I wouldn't call that a wombo combo either way, though.
RP into Centaur Stomp? That's pretty wombo-y.
Really?
It's like a 5-second chain stun.
Oh, we're going to see first blood. Ollie.
We're also going to see second blood.
And the Hex onto Fly, and he gets zapped by Yamich. Now it's a 1v1 support battle. Neither player has any honor. That was a fight to the death, surely. As Sumail fighting off Emo. 25-3 right now to 24-3, so very, very even. But we'll
Emo
see.
doing great here, in my opinion. This should be a lane that's relatively tough for Storm, especially when Leshrac runs Chronoptic. So being able to draw on the Storm is definitely a good look. I mean, Emo, he's been having a great tournament so far, and he is a Spirit Hero specialist. All of them. That I would say, maybe, perhaps. I mean, Earth Spirit is definitely his worst.
Yeah,
but the other three, he's S tier on all three.
Okay.
So if he gets to run Storm, Ember, or Void Spirit, he'll pop off. It's hard to ban them all.
His Void Spirit was something special as the Split Earth is there from Sumail. GH making his way over.
Not exactly the best ganking hero, Pugna.
I'm interested to see when NGX want to kind of have this little group up session, the snowball, the... Why can't I think of the actual name of people use normally?
Amalgamation.
Oh, I do love amalgamation.
Congregation.
No.
Get together.
Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
Potluck.
Oh,
Radiant's bottom
gonna get me
tower
hungry.
is under
Yeah.
attack.
Death ball. There we go. Yep.
That was the word. That was the word.
Yep. Death ball.
Oh my God.
Emo. Not quite level 6. Yamich. Oh, he is level 6 now. The chicken fingers, though. As Ollie is nearby. Do they have the lockdown?
Oh, they do.
Baboka
It's a dead
gonna
chicken.
be here. They're gonna take out Yamich as Emo, again, has the ult, so should be fine. A little bit of miscalculation. I mean, if Emo hadn't gotten 6 on that, that would have been pretty rough stuff for him, potentially.
That was perfect timing. And it also, by extension, means that was a cool play from Nigma Galaxy. They were just unfortunate to be a few seconds late, but the overall idea, I really like that. Between Shadow Shaman and Pugna, ganking Storm is not an obvious play in there at that time. Fortunately for them, just a bit too late.
Yep, both stomp in the top lane. Emo makes his way over. 3 versus 1 is a TP on the way. GH puts down the Nether Ward. That's not going to do too much at this stage. And Ghost will go down to the double edge.
Yeah, Centaur, one of the heroes that suffers the least against Nether Ward, since double edge has 0 mana cost.
That's true.
So it doesn't really matter.
Plus, he's a beast. He wouldn't care even if there was Cinderella.
Right.
He likes taking damage. True masochist of our day.
Did he go
Double
UN
Boca.
horsepower again? I was hoping we get to, I hope we get to see Counter-Strike try it a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to see subtick in Dota.
But it's horsepower as usual so far.
Yeah, the double edge. I'm not truly a believer. I don't think the changes made that much of a difference, but I've been wrong consistently, so we'll see if somebody takes it.
Yeah, it's kind of your brand by now
What?
to be wrong.
Is that true?
No,
Okay.
but it's getting there.
I do have a company named Double Edge Games. I thought that's what you meant by brand.
True.
But yeah, I think the issue is that Centaur, with this facet, it's just a free slot. As Yamich going to come from the south, the double hex into the shackle. Baboka is here to assist, try to turn this around onto Yamich. Ollie has made his way over as well, but Sumail with the shield rune. This is something to truly fear, but he is quite slow. Flyfly is actually going to right into him, has to pop the ult. Sumail can't target him. Stampede to give it a little bit of distance. Gets the dead shot and will survive as a result. That was close, though, as Emo finds a solo kill onto GH. So across the board, 3 dead for NGX. The dive, very much so not successful. Emo will take a lot of damage from Sumail. Has the haste rune. This should be the eventual kill. Surely? Yes. So they finally get 1 out of all of that. It is an important one.
And it's worth noting, Ollie has already hit level 6 on the silencer. He got it very, very quickly from the couple of kills and assists he has. He's 2-0-2. So,
yeah, I'm really interested to see the impact the silencer is going to have. Global silence, 1 dispel will just get rid of it now.
it is.
Like the good old days.
I mean, considering when they picked it, Nigma Galaxy has definitely not picked good heroes against Global.
Right. They might not
Pugna,
expect
Shadow Shaman, 2 heroes that have channeling abilities. You've got the Leshrac mid, who really depends on being able to cast spells consistently. It's, for what it's worth, when Ollie picked this third, this is a good outcome, I would say. And on top of all of this, these heroes don't necessarily buy Dispels, right? Like, who's buying Dispel? Lesh will buy a BKB, but you're not like... There's no, like, Manta hero here unless Carry DK does it, but...
Yep, tower has taken considerable damage. But you can see Yakult Brothers going to be pushing their lane to try to counteract it, taking out GH. Of course, the push will be way faster for NGX as Ghost shows up to casually kill off the Silencer. And Emo, away he goes. We're at the 10-minute mark.
Oh, Ghost is rich, man. How's he this far ahead? 85 CS? Or clocking in for the other one? Okay, he's just ahead by 30 CS. That will do it.
I was wondering how fast NGX were going to play this, though. We've seen teams with these, even just 3 out of the 5 push, like the first Siege, for example. They'll show up in the mid lane and take out the tower really fast. Not the case so far for NGX. GH does eventually get the tier 1.
Yeah, it's true. Pugna plus Lesh. Talk about an early push potential. And Dragon Knight. This is kind
and
of...
Rasta.
And
Wow.
Shadow Shaman.
Wow.
I mean, this is effectively some TI4 stuff. TI4 finals. This game would be over already. The Dire would have taken every tower and they would be up 10k gold.
Yep, they have not pushed the pedal to the metal.
Legendary finals, of course. Everybody was super excited about that one. It's such a... We've talked about this before, that TI4 gets such a bad rap because the finals was bad. The rest of the tournament was really good. But the finals were just... Oh my god. They figured that out on like the last day of the tournament. Hey, pushing towers is good.
Oh, global silence inside of the calling with the RP to follow. Sumail is dead, and GH is only a matter of time. Flyfly can just hit right through the ethereal nature as Yamich caught off guard as well. Only level 5 right now. And that's going to be 3 quick kills for NGX. Meanwhile, top lane, Beyond will just casually stampede away.
Oh,
The Doom. Noob.
Oh, Noob has the Kobold
Yep,
Cup.
that was the new ability popped. Very exciting.
That's gonna get him to kill,
It
actually.
absolutely will. That's cool. I didn't know they even had an effect, like a visual effect for that.
This is a good one on Doom. He might be one of the best heroes to get it on, because he kind of wants the Kobold aura anyway.
I was hoping it would be like a big cup above his head that gets tipped like with the Kobold.
I was hoping there would be like a chugging sound.
Oh, yeah, that would be good too.
Activates, he goes like...
Instead, it looked nothing like what it should. You know,
Can't hit them all.
games in beta. That's one where the VFX should look clowny, I think. Not perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Armlet. Okay, so Armlet for Ghost on the Dragon Knight. So that, again, indicates that they're going to want to start fighting pretty quickly, I would think.
Theoretically, this is a really strong timing for Nigma Galaxy's lineup in general. This, especially whenever RP and Global is down, you would expect NGX to just take a tower. Like, it's very hard for Yakult Brothers to fight without these key spells, but once Global Silence is up again, it will be easier. All right, Ghost gonna try to dive here.
Oh yeah, they're collapsing on them already, using the ult for Flyfly inside of the calling, try to protect himself. Not too much damage, his instant hex onto the Storm Seer TPs, but Emo has got everything at his disposal. Sumail, Butler's not gonna be enough from GH. They've already lost one. Does cost them Flyfly though, so 1 for 2 right now as the rest of Yakult trying to run away. I say that as the zip in, they use the global silence, skewer into the RP, and this is gonna be the death of likely everyone on NGX. That's 4 down, GH attempting the TP, might be fine actually, and he is.
Damn.
But still, 4 for 1. Yakult gonna be super happy.
Yeah, that execution from NGX just not spot on, right? You pop the Kobold Cup and you start running in on the Doom, but they weren't able to connect their supports together with their cores. So they kind of get picked apart one by one, and then Global and RP come off cooldown. I really like the idea for Nigma to go down there and contest this area, but that was probably not the way to approach the situation entirely. They end up getting punished quite hard for it. Yakult Brothers, solid position for sure. But that's okay. So same again. Global RP are down.
Oh my
What are Nigma Galaxy going to do this time?
We have 5 Kobold Cups in the game right now.
Wait, what?
4 of them on NGX. Or sorry, 3. I
Three
mean,
on-
but there's 5 overall. Yeah.
That good?
I don't know.
Maybe it is that good.
It might be. And GH, he's going to try using the Kobold Cup, but will die shortly after. There's one dormant Obscurio for Fly, and there, yep, the original cup holder. Ko the Bold.
He's got a really, like, 1,000-mile stare, that Kobold.
Yeah, you would too when you're that drunk.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah, look at that.
Another great start, by the way, should mention for Baboka on this poor Magnus. He's 3-0 and 8. Already has the Blink and level 5 Shockwave, so his hero is incredibly powerful right now.
Yeah, we've seen the support Magnuses struggle.
He's the support Magnus that had impressed me the most, more so than what we saw from 9 Class. But it's also a different approach entirely. 9 Class was playing with the Eternal Empowerment, and also, to be fair, his was in the previous patch. But I think one of our Baboka games was also last patch, where he played the Shockwave Facet, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, owning it up. And it's interesting too, because this Facet is one of those that technically does nothing until you're level 9. So you can't even say it's the Facet's reason. It's not because of that he's doing better, right? This truly unlocks when you hit.
Yeah.
At 5th point.
G8
RP.
gonna take a solo RP, and Emo will connect to finish it off. Ollie, sorry. More int his way.
They get a lot out of combining on kills with Storm and Silencer. You get Galvanized stacks and Brain Drain.
Yeah,
both of them on 13 charges.
13, wow.
Yeah. So just 15 mana regen currently on Emo, and keep in mind this is with the nerfed Kaya. So this will get better once he upgrades it. I don't know if he's going to rush Kaya Sanj here. No, he's going Witchblade. All right, will be a lot higher damage output.
And
no, he changed to Orchid.
For Fly, let's see if he picks a new neutral or if it's the Obscurio continuing. Yamich, in the meantime, got under the tier 1. He's going to be sacrificed.
More stacks.
That's true. Brain Drain continuing.
Oh, he didn't get a stack of Brain Drain. He was slightly outside the 925.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Fly. Okay, we're not going to see an Obscurio this time around, Synderen. Or not the true investment. The Brigand's Blade is upgraded. It's unleashed, as it were, for Fly.
Yeah, that's a good one on Muerta. You have pretty high attack speed. You love going Mjolnir, so...
Yep, I believe that is being delivered now, and Roche will be Yakult.
It's interesting to see this matchup against Dragon Knight. I wonder if Ghost would have thought twice in this game if he would have gone for Frost instead of the green one. Because with green, your spells can't damage Muerta in her ult.
Say it again?
With Green Dragon, you deal no damage to Muerta in her ult. We saw that in the fight bottom already. She has physical damage immunity, right?
Oh, you mean with the spells? Yeah.
Yeah, so Dragon Knight, when Muerta is an ulti, Ghost cannot deal a single point of damage to her because he's Green Dragon. If he was blue, he could still do a Breathe Fire damage, he can do a Dragon Tail damage.
Well, and we already saw the interaction with Decrepify as well. Does literally nothing against Muerta. So, yeah,
true. They picked both of these heroes into the Muerta.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, were they expecting support where it wouldn't have been as big of an impact?
The thing is, the moment I saw this first pick from Yakult, I was like, they are probably planning to play this carry or at least flex. If they pick it that early, they must think the hero has that much value.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if Nigma are surprised that this is a carry in this game, but yeah, they definitely picked some pretty, honestly, kind of bad heroes against it as a carry. So I kind of like Yakult, whether you want to call it upgrading it or keeping it carry. Oh, we got more trouble brewing here.
Yep, Emo with a jump in, Orchid, and even the creeps are going to help out. Basically a double hoof stomp. Noob, very tanky though. Pipe applied. Oh, but the RP is going to cancel this combo. Beyond stuck inside the wards. He's got to use Stampede to try to get out. They get the support Yamich. Now the big zip in from Emo, focusing everything on Sumail. He is dead. Emo's first life is gone. Aegis expended. This is a 5 versus 3 though. Should be easy cleanup for Yakult. The rest of NGX able to dip out, but feels like every fight just going Yakult's way. Obviously, that age is making pretty big difference.
Not only that, it's just they have having the silence in their back pocket for these fights against these heroes. You see the way they start this, they get the RP into Skewer. Ollie is just holding global the whole time. He's not using it against the Drain. He knows that this is going to matter when Sumail becomes a part of the fight, and this is when we global. I don't even know if this global was necessary. It's kind of crazy that they can just hold it for that long, and then they fancy the old drop it. Now have a secondary silence emo with the Orchid. This is starting to look more and more one-sided by the minute here for Yakult Brothers.
Are you surprised that, I mean...
Oh, Ollie's going to get found. This is a nice kill for them. Maybe this can open some more up for Nigma Galaxy.
There's no dispels right now on NGX's side. This is against Global. This is now against an Orchid.
Yeah.
I don't know if Yules on Lesh is considered normal anymore. It used to be like a pretty standard thing, but...
Could have been interesting this game for Sumail for sure. GH.
Emo finds a freebie.
Snack.
Will pop to the Orchid. Meanwhile, Fly and Baboka will team up to take out another. Ghost, though, taking out Emo. That is a huge kill for NGX.
Managed to get the Atos from Sumail into Split Earth, into Dragon Tail, and that is the biggest kill of the game. So far, finally, Nigma Galaxy take down the pesky Storm for a second time. He was on a 7-kill streak, and all of that gold, he was worth about 1,300, of which Ghost claims 7 of it. Make some nice progress here. And I love that he bought Blink on this carry DK. I feel like this is something too many carry Dragon Knights bypass, and I know it's a game-by-game basis kind of thing. In this one, your mid laner is a Lesh, your off laner is a Doom. Get the Blink. Start the fight. You know you have damage from your mid and your off laner. It's just a matter of getting good terms. And with a DK Blink, that gets infinitely easier. Also because against Global, a lot of the time what really beats Silencer in fights is burst initiation, where he doesn't get time to react. So Blink Dragon Tail into a little bit of a follow-up kills heroes very quickly.
It is 21 minutes. I believe Yakult's going to be grouping up to take out the old Tormy.
They've got a lot of magic resist now on the side of Nigma. They've got 2 Glimmers, Pipe. Sumail has his own Glimmer, so he will always be around for one. And now have a Glimmer on GH. There goes the Tormentor, as you said, of course. Muerta good at this. Didn't even need to use Pierce the Veil. And they will get the shard for Silencer. If this was retroactive,
yeah,
it would have 45 installed.
That would be nice.
That would be crazy. Gonna get scanned here on the gate by the Dire, so Nigma Galaxy know that Yakult went through the gate, at least some of them. They're not gonna use it. Oh, now they will. They will try to turn that into a play. Would be big for them to get Fly here. They see him under that ward, scouting out the Ancients, and his counterplay is non-existent.
Dragon Tail, Global Silencer tried to buy him some space. He's gonna pop his ult and TP. He's out.
Yeah, he didn't have any counterplay, but Ollie did.
Now that Global Silence is down, though, maybe NGX can scrap something up together. I mean, we have not really seen the push. There's 2 tier 1 towers down. That doesn't seem like that should be the case with the ridiculous amount of push that they do have at their disposal.
Well, Yakult Brothers are just very adamant about defending their towers, and that's exactly how you beat this type of lineup. If you can stand your ground and hold, so much of what Nigma Galaxy are proposing and trying to do in this game just gets negated. But you're right, on paper, if the lanes went better and the early game went better, this is when Yakult Brothers would have no towers left outside of the base, but they have 4 out of 6 still. GH trying to be cute here.
Yep.
He is successful, he is cute, but he will die.
He's a very, very cuddly young man, I would say. Yeah, look at him. Like a little teddy bear.
Yeah. The bear to Jenkins Twink.
7K lead for Yakult.
I like that you just moved on from that immediately.
Yep.
Really good call.
Nemo. Going for that Lincoln Sphere. Dragon Tail and Doom. Of course, they do have a lot that can pop it.
But I guess the thing for Emo here is this is twofold. You also block the Atos of Lesh, which is actually really nice. That has been a little bit of a problem for him. And when you're jumping in and people, you jump in, you cast Global Silence, what's going to stop you is actually the Atos, not the Doom. So it effectively means that during Global, Emos has free reign.
Volka gonna tank the gank.
Easy kill here. Try to get more out of this, will Nigma.
Yeah,
They will
they'll
probably
get
be
a
successful.
second support.
Oh, he has a gem. He put it on the courier instantly. Clutch.
Yeah, that's nice. Will burn away, surely.
To the other shock.
All right, so NGX making some things happen. Really need to get some buildings, though.
Yeah, I think mid tower is in jeopardy here. They have Glyph. They're going to pop that probably onto this Edict. As they should.
They still have Serpent Wards.
Yeah, I don't think those are necessary to throw in here. Just let DK and Pugna do the work. Save your Serpent Wards for a potential early Roshan respawn. 30 seconds to go on that one. And you know Yakult are hungry for that Rosh. If they get an Aegis onto Emo, he can play extremely reckless, and it's not even reckless anymore. Be limitless.
Yep. You can play like GPK does on an average Tuesday.
Suns fan tries not to reference GPK.
You know, Kiyotaka is slowly approaching GPK status, I have to say. It's really impressive.
I mean, I think he is more polarizing of a player now than GPK.
Yeah, it's just, I have this...
You have this memory of that 1 year of GPK doing limit. He limit tested for a whole year.
Yeah.
And he found the limit. So that's good.
He did.
Yamich needs to be quick on his fingers here.
Well, gets the blink, but
It's not going to be enough.
will fall regardless. His teammates are nearby. Sumail, he's going to get zipped on. The Global Silence to follow. They have the skewer away. Sumail dead.
Yeah.
Thought they could turn this around. That was not the case at all.
You can't. You just have to cut your guy there. And Sumail's going to be kicking himself for that one, because if he thinks twice about it, he knows this is impossible. The enemy team smokes. They've got to be 5 people there making that move. If you try to help at all, you just become collateral damage. You get caught up in the meat grinder with the Global Silence. Now, the good news for Nigma Galaxy is Roshan has not spawned too early. Otherwise, the side of Yakult would be grabbing it immediately with the Muerta ulti. But it is a relatively short respawn. We're looking at 20 seconds from now. I did the math on that one looking at the disc, Shannon.
Thank you.
So, Yakult will be interested in controlling the area. RP, complete whiff.
What did you expect?
Good question, Baboki. He probably expected you would hit your spell.
And they'll be without that for a couple minutes now.
Yeah, this is actually maybe going to give Nigma Galaxy Roche. Oh, Noob just checked the pit 3 seconds too early, so they don't know. Yamich might check it again. He will. All right, it's up, boys. And they don't have RP, and they don't have Global. Get to work. This is a big one. That's actually super costly that Baboka misses that RP.
Yeah.
This gives... It's not necessarily that Nigma wouldn't have been able to pull this off, but they have zero concerns about committing for this, knowing that the big spell is down. I'll be an Aegis.
Yep, they'll be scanned out.
I can't say I love putting this one on
I was
Ghost.
gonna say,
I really want this on the Lash. I get it if they want to siege high ground, because then the DK Aegis is really valuable, but the type of fights that we've had so far in the game, it feels like Sumail desperately needs
You were
it.
thinking of numbers, numerical.
No, Sumail needs, and it's blended together.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually had a good explanation. Didn't expect that, did you?
That's actually sad that you did.
Unfortunate. Although I will say, Numail seeds does sound like a... It would make some beautiful trees.
Yeah. Smoke from NGX. Not going to find anything, though.
I'll find a Wisdom for Ghost. He'll get level 20.
How much do they want to get out of this Aegis? Like, what is considered a success?
I think you definitely clear the outer towers as bare minimum.
Okay, so that's 2 tier 2s.
Yeah, that is the bare minimum. They're on opposite sides of the map, so it does take quite a while to get them. I think high ground is really difficult. It's always going to be tough against Magnus Silencer, right? Anyone who starts pushing, you can just blink skewer them in global and start the fight that way. And again, this is potentially why Nigma are putting the Aegis on Ghost, is that they are planning for this high ground push. Maybe they feel the pressure. Maybe they're like, we have to go for it, guys. We can't win this one late. And perhaps they're right about that. Maybe this is the time to strike, and you want to commit for high ground. And if that's the case, I like the Aegis on the DK. I just also know in the back of my mind that we've seen games from Nigma this tournament. They're just a little bit hesitant to go for the killing blow, and
Dire's top tower has fallen.
maybe they've learned from it. Maybe they're like, we gotta do it, guys. We gotta take the risk. And if it fails, so be it.
Radiant
I mean, how would you say their lineup scales late game? Because
Dire's
initially,
top
just
tower
looking at it, it's
is
like,
under
oh,
attack.
this is super fast push. That hasn't been the case. So how, if we get into the late game scenario,
I think the main thing that I'm worried about for them is dealing with a 6-slotted Muerta. I think that's the problem. Dragon Knight does nothing to them. And if you don't get the Doom off before Muerta uses her ult, if you Doom her after Pierce the Veil, I think she just stands her ground and eats your team alive. So you combo that with RP, with Global, 2 big teamfight ults, and Stampede, it can be tough.
Double damage.
Okay, it looks like Nigma Galaxy actually really want this now. They're trying to get any pick mid so that they can go high ground.
Emo with the damage rune.
Yeah, has the Lincolns though against Dragon Tail. They have to break it some other way. They'll try with Atos from Glimmer into...
Ooh, split Earth to stop. Spotted though, and now they're going to counteract this emo. Lincoln's has already popped. RP only onto 1, but the Skewer gets 2. Big hoof stomp to follow. Lots of damage onto Sumail. Able to get to the north though. Glimmer's going to keep him alive. Lincoln is a full reset from Yakult, as the Aegis already expended, and that was the Dragon Knight, so you know what that means. He's not useful anymore.
It's so crucial that Emo has the gem. It changes everything. Sumail was going for the Glimmer into Atos to break the Lincolns and then Dragon Tail, but Emo sees him in the Glimmer because he's carrying the gem. And he's able to react in time, so all they get off is the Dragon Tail breaking the Lincolns, and while Sumail is controlled, you don't get the Atos off, and then the Global covers their tracks, so... I really like that attempt from Nigma Galaxy, and I like the way you could clearly tell what they were communicating and trying to execute, but that gem disabled the play. And that's the Aegis down, as you mentioned, so probably going to slow things down again. In that fight, Fly was doomed, and he was immediately force-staffed out by a teammate. Now he has his own. He's working on the pike. Classic 31-minute Midas here for Noob on Doom. This is a little bit less good now.
Is under
Yep,
attack.
85% instead of 90, right?
Yeah.
On the selling, that is.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what his other facets are. There's one that Doom lasts longer or something.
Yeah, Doom gets better every 6.66 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Very
Not the one. And then there's, I think he has 3 facets.
Yeah,
right?
there was a third.
He
Something with
has
Devour.
oh, Gluttony, the 2 charges in Devour.
Feels like we don't see anything other than
Yeah.
Devil's Bargain. I think the minus 5% nerf is like, guys, the other 2 facets are good. We know we have the stats.
Yeah, other stuff
Trust us.
exists.
Balance.
Like trying to lead the player base in a direction.
The thing is, like,
Gently guide them.
I feel like pro players are able to abuse this one more though than an average player. That's why, right?
For sure.
So it's kind of understandable.
You know why pro players can abuse this one, Shannon? It's because they appreciate numbers and they know how powerful numbers
Somebody
can
else does the numbers for the players. Trust me. Beyond hoof stomp initiation.
be. Oh my god.
GH melts.
Yeah, nice Daedalus on Fly. Daedalus plus Empower will do that. 2-shotting the Pugna. And the interesting thing about Muerta carry, we didn't see it very much in the last patch. This is, in theory, one of the absolute best ultra late game heroes. Ame tried to make it work a couple of times in, I think, 737, maybe even 738, without too much success. But when you get there, this hero is a monster in the late game. And you add Empower to the mix.
What do you think about the Lincolns? I mean, it's the one thing that can screw her over is getting doomed early.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
No lifesteal though. I mean, maybe you drop boots, I guess.
Maybe you can you get Vampiric tier 4, perhaps, to cover that? Maybe
Yeah,
he's
that's
hoping for that.
true.
So, which tier 4 neutral? How much lifesteal does Vampiric tier 4 give? 16% and 12% spell lifesteal.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll probably do it.
if
Could find
she gets the option.
We're approaching that, 2 minutes away. But even then, the lifesteal doesn't matter if you're doomed. So it's kind of, you know,
Yeah, that's fair.
you have to solve Doom one way or the other, I guess, because that is the one problem you have, and lifesteal wouldn't be the solution to that exact problem, but it would help you outside of it. I think the ideal 6-slot Muerta in this game does not have Satanic, actually. I just don't think it's worth it.
No?
Not in this particular one. I think the ideal Muerta build does have it, but the upside The downside against Doom probably just makes it not worth considering. And you get this Linkens and then you replace your treads for, I'm not sure, just more damage, probably. This hero just needs to stand and deliver. BKB's arriving now. BKB on Storm, BKB on the Muertes down to 8 seconds. Yeah. Magnus with a 9-second or 2. How on earth will Nigma take these fights when heroes are BKB? Their lineup does not deal well with that at all.
Well, Sumail does have Gleipnir now, so AoE increase. As Ghost, he's going to get initiated on, or is it the other way around? He gets pulled out. RP onto 2 with the global silence, and the damage from Flyfly is ridiculous. They're able to take out 1 support to start this out. Crimson Guard about to end. Looks like Ollie will be the trade, so 1 for 1 at the moment. Baboka with the horsey, finding some distance, blinks away. Flyfly is actually all alone. They have the tools to deal with this Muerta.
Pike
going to the north.
He's going to get stunned.
Yeah, Gleipnir into the Dragon Tail. They have the damage. A huge kill for NGX. That isolates her from the team.
That looked like Yakult was going to clean house when they got the initiation, but the problem is they blinked Centaur Stomp the Dragon Knight, but then they RP'd the other heroes. They didn't want to fully commit onto Ghost. Maybe Baboka's read was that he was too tanky. Wait a second, Emo. I'll get out. But yeah, Nigma Galaxy just leveraging the tankiness of their carry. He's got the Satanic as well, so if you want to go on Ghost, you better finish the job, or it's just a wasted initiation entirely. The RP from Baboka was pretty good onto 2 and skewering them in, but they couldn't kill the heroes fast enough, and once Nigma Galaxy outlasts the initial BKB volley plus the Stampede, definitely have the chase potential to run them down.
I want to see if Sumail gets that tier 4 that increases your AoE.
Oh yeah.
This is, I believe, this is the reason that they nerfed the Shard. The Shard only goes off 2 times instead of 3.
Yeah.
But obviously it is RNG, whether that's going to pop up as a choice for him.
Oh, Roche is up.
Are you surprised that there's no Mage Slayer? I mean, I don't know who would buy it, but against the Lesh, it just feels like it's a requirement a lot of games.
It is definitely a very good item against that hero. Is there a world where you could have bought that on Storm? I mean, maybe? It's not terrible, right? The stats are okay on it for Storm Spirit. Get the magic resistance, mono regen, attack speed.
Yeah. Oh, we got the cart. So Aegis, Refresher Shard, GH has to force staff to grab it. Not very good on him, but he'll hold it for someone, probably the Doom.
Cart Muerta is nasty.
Yeah, you literally cannot target her. This is going to be sick.
They want to drive Flyfly into position and just get it done. But this Aegis is very, very important here. And the cheese on Sumail, it's unlikely that Yakult can take him 100-0.
Oh, he did get the Dazoon Bloodright on Sumail.
He got the perfect item with Timeless as well.
I wonder if he's going to prioritize Shard at any point, or if it's just not worth it on Core.
Oh, okay. Is this not looking too bad for Nigma Galaxy all of a sudden? I thought Yakult would be in a winning position at this point almost after they were 12k up and had this strong team fighting lineup.
Yeah,
but that one move.
This back-to-back Roche taking for NGX.
Yep.
Helping quite a bit. Oh, even a Parrot Cloak on the Centaur, the dream item. He is one tanky boy, has Workhorse at the disposal.
And he actually gets the mystical Parrot Cloak as well, which gives cast range, and that does matter for Workhorse.
There's a bunch of Dazoon Bloodrights now.
Ooh.
So bigger AoE for Sumail, as we talked about, but also for the RP, and also for, well, for Emo's going Ags, I assume. Does that
eventually
works on that, right?
It should also give more AoE to Static Remnants and to Ball Lightning, right?
That's true. Ball Lightning I didn't think about.
It's not necessarily that impactful on him, but I just think, I don't know, man. I think this neutral item is kind of busted, to be honest.
It's definitely good. Meanwhile, Flyfly goes for the crit.
You got to be a little bit careful on Storm, I guess, with the health cost. But I think after your initial cast of Ball Lightning, when it keeps draining mana as you continue, it does not drain health. At least that's what it looked like when he just cast it.
That would be really bad.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, wait a minute. If he just jumps in, does he start the fight on half health? But no, it doesn't seem to be. It
should be invulnerable.
It's only the initial cost that you pay him health for.
The question is, did he test this, though? Because this could have very well have been a bug, right?
If he didn't know this,
he would have griefed his own game.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you drop your neutral in, right? Just
Yeah,
like,
I guess
okay,
so.
I can't do
Then you
this.
got to hold off for those tier 5s, of course.
Yeah, that would suck. Without a doubt. Can tell Nigma Galaxy are very eager to try to put some pressure here with their Aegis. They're playing up very far, but they've correctly identified that Yakult have gone up top, but Yakult have identified that they have identified, and they all TP back to base. So this move from Nigma Galaxy, unlikely to find, oh well, impossible to find anything because nobody's there. And what are they going to do with it after?
Well,
They gonna try
Fly, he has his Lincolns now, so he is fully 6 slotted.
Yeah.
I assume the boots will
Oh,
go at
giving
some
up the
point.
shard. Interesting. It's rare to see where to buy that.
Is that retroactive?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't know how much you're going to get before you buy it, right? I mean, 30% spell lifesteal just as good in general.
You could probably assume that if you're 8, 3, and 10, you've probably been in the vicinity of the heroes dying for like at least 2/3 of the kills, right? Because like either you get the killing blow or you're in the vicinity. So the 8 are guaranteed. Those are his kills.
So that's 16.
Yeah, and then probably out of half his assists, maybe, if not more, he's been in vicinity. I don't know what counts as vicinity here. Maybe that's like 1,200.
Could
In
be
that
global.
case, it might be all of them. Yeah, that would be a pretty big vicinity. Thank you.
Dive to the impurities.
I would use a different word for that.
Aegis 1 minute away from expiring. It doesn't look like NGX want to push the envelope.
Yeah,
Ghost is spotted.
we did talk about that, right? It's like,
And it's again the Dragon Eye picking it up.
yeah, you put this on DK, you'd think, okay, you're going to try for this push, but maybe Nigma Galaxy feel like this is too difficult to pull off if they don't get a gank off, and, well, Yakult Bros haven't given them an angle, so this effectively just will be an expiring Aegis. Of course, it wasn't useless. You did gain a gold advantage during this. It was a power play. You're up 4K during that,
And you
but
still have Refresher and Cheese.
yeah. Can't help but feel like there might have been a way to put this Aegis to use, but of course the risk-reward might just be too unfavorable. Then my question is, when are you going high ground ever? If this one, I don't think it's going to be easier with your next Aegis. Like, are you just hoping that eventually you get a good fight outside the base and then you can press the issue? Maybe.
Touche.
You're just playing on moving around the map consistently until you find a successful move and then you strike. Have double Doom on Noob with the Octarine Core and Shard. He has enough mana. So if any good fight were to break out, Nigma Galaxy could definitely try to clean house with it. But got to be wary of the 2 Lincolns. And the Workhorse, of course. How much cast range does this have by default? Do you know? You're the Centaur player.
It's pretty short.
It's like 400 maybe? It doesn't show when you mouse over it, which is kind of weird. But yeah, he has another 100
that's
on
because-
top of that with Pyrrhic.
Yeah, because Workhorse is a 2-button thing now. So you have to click that first, and it creates the card. Then you have to click it
Right.
again.
Yeah,
with
okay, that's
somebody
why.
in
So
there.
when after he activates it, you can see
But
the radius.
it's very short range. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's smaller than 400 probably. Well, Splitter destroying all the trees, and Emo destroying all of his mana. We'll take the Wisdom Shrine though.
Nice
Level
close.
25 is getting close.
That's a big level up.
The Boca RP. Storm's not even in the area at all, but Sumail, he's just dead.
Shamail's in the area, and that's all
Wow.
it takes.
The Global Silence definitely not needed, but maybe just in case type of deal.
And here's the bad news.
He doesn't have buyback either, so 80 seconds. What does your Colt want to get out of this now? Because it feels like both teams are playing quite passive.
Yeah, Nigma Galaxy approached the base slightly with Lesh, and he dies. And now what they're going to learn from this is, oh,
Don't
we should
get close to
probably
base.
not get close to their base. So,
But
it
I
is
feel like
just a
your
very, it's a different condition, different situation, right? You didn't have Aegis. It was the wrong hero getting caught. You weren't around to help.
It's
Sumail was just out of
definitely
position.
a mental condition. I would agree with that.
Just out of position. Mistakes happen. Chalk it up to that and try not to bleed out any more deaths. Of course, with the Leshrac dead, finally we're seeing Yakult Brothers spill out onto the map. Nice
They
catch
actually
from
break
Yavich.
the Lincolns, but the cart! He's inside of the Workhorse! Centaur's the one getting stunned instead. BKB popped by Emo, wants to jump out of the cart, no longer needs assistance anymore. Now the Doom comes out. Noob will pop his Refresher and then just casually die to the right clicks of Fly. Remember, they're not even fighting with Sumail. as Ghost onto the high ground. He goes, beautiful hoof stomp from beyond. And Fly with a triple. That is 4 dead, effectively, on the side of NGX. And
Emo just baiting them, man. They really thought they had him when they broke that Hex immediately, or the Lincolns.
Nobody's ready for the workhorse.
That's right. Yamage with the instant setup. Like, there was no way to react to this one.
My favorite part about this is when he's in the workhorse, he just, look at him. Look at his animations. They're broken completely. Now it's working after he BKBs. It's either that or he just wasn't actually attacking.
He might have been hexed for a decent chunk of that, but yeah, I don't know.
That was kind of weird.
Maybe Emo didn't even realize he got picked up.
Nobody knows what workhorse does.
Here as well. And that should be Elena Barracks. I think Nigma Galaxy really don't want to burn any buybacks here, but Muerta very quick at pushing with the gunslinger. He hit both barracks at once.
Yep, pretty effective. Well, sometimes he's hitting the building.
Yep. If he repositioned his hero, that wouldn't happen. Actually.
That's right, but he doesn't seem to care.
No. This is 2 lanes, unless you buy back DK. Maybe they can even force
look at the range.
This goes really fast. Maybe he has to buy back onto Ghost.
GH is caught off guard. Right next to his Ancient. You'd think he'd be safe, but that is not the case. He has buyback. They don't want to use it as Doom applied. It's actually reflected. RP from Baboka on top of Doom and Sumail. The buybacks are still not coming from the Dragon Knight. Ultra kill for Emo, and now the double buyback comes out from NGX. It's too late. Well, Ghost didn't have to use it, I guess.
Tell you what.
Hey, what?
Uh-oh.
That was weird.
That was a bit... Okay, so I understand this is a very difficult judgment call to make to not buy back your Dragon Knight. But if you're not going to buy back your Dragon Knight, you better not bleed out 3 additional heroes while you wait 20 seconds for him.
Yeah.
Like, then you have to just be like, all right, we're giving them 2 lanes, guys. We're going to glyph both lanes. We'll stay back. If they think that Yakult have time to take all 3 lanes, you should have bought him back for the first one. Right? It's one of those... It's so easy to say in hindsight, but at the same time, at this level, you kind of have to make these decisions better. This is what makes or breaks games at the highest level, is being clutch in those moments and having the right ideas. And that was almost worst case scenario for Nigma Galaxy. If they would have bought back Dragon Knight and Yakult back off, that would have been better than this.
Yeah.
And if they don't buy him back and they lose 2 lanes fully and don't fight, that's also infinitely better than losing 3-4 heroes and Roche. Now Yakult are just going to go back up again.
Yeah, this is looking quite grim for NGX.
They have a refresher shard on the side on the Magnus now. They have Aegis onto their Muerta. Like, how will you possibly be able to break up this fight now for their side? They'll try for a flank. You see the line drawn here by the Doom. He wants to try to backstab, but as you mentioned, he used his refresher in the previous fight, so he doesn't have that now.
Yep, Roche Banner getting his fist. Sumail does have the shard now, so Split Earth can be very annoying, but these buildings are melting super fast. Ghost casually blinks in and does basically nothing. Waiting for what exactly? It's Fly gonna get hexed. Remember, he has the Aegis. Baboka with a nice skewer onto Rasta. The Doom applies to the center. That is a tanky-ass horse, though. Fly inside of his own calling, just right-clicking. The poor Dragon Knight can't do much about it. And the rest of the team kind of isolated on the back line.
Beautiful.
Emo will apply some pressure to Sumail. This is just not good news for NGX as they are dropping like flies.
I mean, damn it if
no
you're
pun
damned if you
intended
don't,
for
right?
Fly. Triple kill for him.
If you doom the Centaur, you're like, man, you doomed Centaur. But if you doom anyone else, they get picked up and rode away.
That's right. That's the workhorse for you. Look at that.
5-star Uber driver.
Hell yeah. GG's called.
Would be a Ghost in this guy's cart again.
Yakult Bros, game 1. Welcome to game 2, ladies and gentlemen, between Yakult Brothers and NGX, who got slapped a bit in game 1.
Yep.
These lineups, there's some interesting wrinkles here and there. I'll tell you what's not interesting.
I'll tell you what you're about to tell me.
Parablade. I know that you know that you know that I know.
30 seconds to battle.
These carries can die in a fire.
But hey,
everything else is cool, though.
Morphling was first picked.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just want to say, I mean, Fly seems to be oozing confidence. One game they first pick his Muerta. This game they first pick his Morph. Most teams do not first pick their carry hero, and Fly is just like, I just want to play this today. I want to play this in this game. Well, he's backing it up with performances, then, you know,
Battle begins.
Yeah.
no need to change as long as it's working.
The Muerta could have been a flex. Morphling, not really.
No, not really.
I mean, maybe a mid, I
don't
guess.
think Emo should play Morph when there's Spirit heroes and they're good.
True. He does have the Ember Spirit after all.
He went for Chain Gang. This got buffed this patch.
Wait, did that Watcher go into the ground? Is that new? Or am I an idiot?
That is new and you're an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Wait, why did it go into the
Yeah,
ground?
it's in the ground. Huh.
Oh.
When
is
you
this
disable
a teaser?
it? No, I think when you disable it, it just becomes dormant like that, like an Obscurio. It's a
I think
reference
it's
to
I
the
think it's a
Obscurio.
teaser for the next hero.
So it's going to be a hero that you can AFK with?
It's a it has an ability that sticks its head in the sand.
Okay.
And then you can dig for worms while you're down there. Like a little mini game, like the fishing mini game of Crownfall. That was actually a test bed for that hero. You cast that spell, and then you need to find 3 worms, and
Sounds
you
like
can eat
fun.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play that.
Yep. Valve were like, you know what this game is missing? Fishing. Because that's big in every other video game ever. So we need fishing.
Yep, I'm fine.
We do not have that.
It's got to be channeling, though.
Yep.
Let's talk about the off-lane Phoenix.
Yeah, that's
Core
really
Phoenix.
good pick this
Love
game.
to see it in general. Why here, Cinderman?
I mean, I don't know how this happened. Yakult Brothers have just really leveled up. I feel like I love the way they draft. I love the way they play. I think the Phoenix pick in this game is... I can't really put a finger on it. It's so good because Terrorblade doesn't fare well against it. The ET and the Tusk the panel was talking about, these are 2 supports that are dependent on attacks. And you just Fire Spirit them, and they can't do anything. So you know for a fact your Phoenix is going to have a fine laning stage. Later down the line, you have the Fire Spirits plus Sunray against the Terrorblade, who is very much a stand and deliver kind of carry, and that's quite difficult to deal with. The only downside in this game, there's only one, and that is you can Stampede out a Supernova. But hopefully for the side of Yakult, you're going to deal with that problem through chains and through lasso.
Yep, you have a lot to deal with it.
And with this Chain Gang buff, it hits additional targets now up to 4 with the Searing Chains.
Yeah, that thing's pretty insane. It's in chains.
I appreciate the creativity, but you can do better.
Okay. So what do you itemize on a Phoenix? Like back in the day when this is core, it'd be like Spirit Vessel type of thing. As you can see a dive onto GH, burning away in the trees. Blood Grenade is enough. Beyond gets first blood on the Phoenix. But yeah, like Spirit Vessel, sometimes you'd see Radiance. People love Shivas on this hero.
Yeah.
Ags can grief your team.
Yeah. I think all of the suggestions. So the panel were mainly talking about the options of Shivas, Radiance, and Hex. And the Vessel was also briefly mentioned. I think Vessel is the worst option out of all of them, because I don't think it's particularly good against any hero except Centaur in this one. So I would rather see... I think a Shiva's Rush sounds really good when you consider what heroes he's playing with as well. Just getting into the fray with the slow, setting up his Ember for a fight where he can chase down heroes, making it easier for Ollie to hit his spells, amplifying a lot of magic damage that they have. Bat Rider, Ringmaster, even Ember does decent magic damage. I think that would be really cool. So for me, probably I would like to see Shiva's Hex, I think, as the 2 main items on the hero of this game. But I won't be mad at Radiance either. It's just that has the downside of being against Terrorblade, so you're giving him Radiance too when he uses Reflection on you. Maybe it's just better too.
Yep, Baboka getting run down by Ghost. See those? That's Sumail dies to Emo solo.
This is a good Ember matchup, but Sumail was actually doing great on the CS. But yeah, eventually, if you're not careful, all of that CS lead is turned to dust.
Yeah, that's...
Ember is now ahead.
Absolutely.
And not only is he ahead on gold, but he's going to hit 6 faster, and that's when it can snowball. So then the puck can't even escape you. You can't orb away. He's just going to chase you down in the tower.
I feel like every game we've cast so far, Emo has kind of gone off.
Yeah,
It's been really impressive.
He's playing super well this tournament.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And what do you think about Baboka on the Batrider? So position 4, he actually takes the Arsonist facet, which I would think is a more core thing, question mark?
Yeah, that's what we, at least we're theorizing it would be good for, but maybe he just likes his 5 skill points in first spell. He did that on Magnus as well with the Shockwave. Yeah. I don't know. I thought Stoked was going to be really good. Oh, nice phase shift from Sumail there. Dodging out the Flame Break. Important for his survival.
It's really distracting that Sticky Napalm is green, have to say.
Yep.
What was the bat's name? Snotty?
Yep, I think
believe.
so. Put a little bit of food colorant in there.
It does look like a drink in the U.S.
Yeah.
Free to use any chemicals that you want. Baboka getting gone on right now. Tag team pretty annoying to deal with as the dive coming in. Actually gets stunned, both of them. Emo coming into play as well. Sleight of Fist takes out one. It's a trade for Baboka, though. It looks like that'll end the engagement.
That's a good result for Nigma Galaxy. I thought that was going to end worse when Emo showed up and got the double chains, but they didn't really have the chase down potential. And Sumail was not involved, so he's getting some space mid to try to bridge the gap and get up to his Dream Coil. Their lineup revolves a lot around Puck this game. I really think it's crucial for him to play a good game in order for Terrorblade to shine here.
Ooh.
So,
Close.
yeah, very close in the whip.
Imagine if he had Adaptive Strike.
Yeah, that's something to imagine, huh? Can't wait to see when he skills that.
I genuinely can't remember if he even stuns anymore. Is it just a knockback?
It stuns when you have...
When it's the strength?
No, you're right. That's
I remember
just
they
a
changed
knockback.
something.
Yeah, it's just a knockback. You're right.
Okay, yeah.
Man, yeah, they changed that a lot. I actually totally forgot because I've barely seen the spell used.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Now we're going to see one Obscurio picked up for Ghost. And Chipper picked up by Noob. Big Han fan. Oh, Whip actually does steal a pretty valuable neutral.
Yeah. And he did that. He didn't even have vision, did he?
Doesn't?
Wait, how?
Huh. Smart boy.
Wait, did he place the sentry while he was farming it, and then he got the residual sentry vision? That might be what happened, actually, because otherwise I just don't understand how he would have timed that. I think it was the sentry vision.
He's got ESP. What can he do?
Extra superpowers.
Sure.
Yep.
And we're going to keep looking at this Watcher. We're waiting for it to go on the ground or something.
Servers need a little bit of a rest sometimes, too. Now that's the coil.
Coil into the snowball. Silence to follow. Blocked off. Has the remnants, but dies before he's able to finish the connection. So good gank from NGX.
Yeah, that worked out better than I thought. When we were halfway through that, I thought that was going to fail. Now Baboka wanted to counter out the rune. Sumail on the hunt.
He does Firefly to the high ground, but they have the catch. So 2 quick freebies for NGX.
Yeah, okay. It's very nice for them. Is there a better hero to have chipped vest on than Centaur? No. I think that has to be the guy, right?
Feels good. Can't wait to play some Dotes when I get home, Cinderman.
Accelerate your farm. Supernova. And...
Oh, this is bigger, though. That is a double kill for Emo.
Make it a triple in a moment.
Goodness gracious. That must have felt so satisfying. The dopamine just oozing from every pore. Emo triple kill. Dirty.
That, I think it was about half a second from going off, I think. But then yeah, that's what you sound like. Nothing to do with the play, but just let it all out.
You don't want that.
Yeah, let some of it out.
Okay. I'm actually going to unbutton my pants right now. It's a little tight from eating lunch.
Yeah, shouldn't have got medium.
Baboka.
Up.
Gonna take a snowball to the back of the head. GH and Ghost pursuing as well. Flame Break, not gonna be enough. Another easy one for NGX.
It's cool to see how different the approaches are to Batrider, right? You see Baboka here going the 2-1-2 build. Yesterday we had Boxy go 0-2-4 with Stoked. He didn't even take Napalm until late into the game. Very different ideas, which is what we love about a new patch. Sometimes there's a new patch and the teams very quickly identify, all right, this thing is just busted, or this is the way to play this hero. But there's been a decent amount of creativity so far.
Well, they want GH. Emo's the only one that's able to actually connect fully. He's going to take an Echo Stomp for his troubles. Fair Fire activated from GH along with the Kobold Cup, but it's not enough.
Amp damage rune is insane on Ember. Got to be one of the absolute best heroes in Dota to have this on. Takes full advantage of both the spell amp and damage amp. Finds that kill specifically because of it. Looking for more, maybe. Emo very aggressively here, trying to just take space away. The Watcher went into the ground. You didn't see it. That's unfortunate, but take my word for it. It is dormant. It is down.
Yeah, go to the left.
Yeah.
Go to the left.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Hot. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. That one is in the ground.
Yep.
New feature added by Volvo Software Incorporated.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Really cool.
Yeah, Misery didn't get his wish. His wish list for the patch was remove Watchers, and Valve were like, we'll do a compromise. We'll make it look, we'll get closer to removal, but we'll only sink them into the ground. Makes zero difference. But
Yep. Not quite buried enough.
oh, Baboka
Yeah, they want to
again.
try to counteract this ancient taking. Might cost them. Baboka's the first to fall. The egg is placed, and they're going to be able to take out Sumail and Yamich. Well, he avoids a couple spells, but it's only a matter of time. A 2-for-1 for Yakult, and of course they got the, well, almost the whole stack here.
And they killed Sumail. We saw that play the panel was talking about it. Morphling, you turn into the puck and you silence him and kill him. Nice and easy there for Fly. Yamich not too happy about that. Also not too sad. An average response. GH
Radiant's bottom tower is under
smacking
attack.
away with his haste rune at Emo. You're not going to win this fight if Emo actually fights back, but... In the meantime, Fly. All right, they're TPing in the top
Waning
here.
Rift. Oh, the Morphling's actually pretty low. Not able to attribute shift, but teammates are there to force NGX back, and Tier 1 tower
Fortified.
will be fortified.
Strongman Tonic is so good for Morphling. So if you're playing on high agi, your EHP is super high, so when you give him that strength...
Scanning.
Alright, okay. Your EHP when you get strength is high when you have armor.
Well, we have a lasso onto Noob.
Yeah, yeah, Stampede.
Emo on the way, and it's not going to be in time.
Dire's top tower.
Baboka trades ults with the Centaur. I think that's okay. In the meantime, his teammates are taking top tower. So mission accomplished there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Emo now 7-1 on the Ember. It's interesting to see this chain gang. He's kind of also using it to clear waves with. So it hits 4 targets. You can kill the whole wave with that and a slight.
Doesn't it also, in addition to the extra, does something with Flame Guard, right?
You mean when it also chains around your ult?
When Searing Chains are cast, they are also cast around Fire Emblem. Right. That's pretty insane.
I don't actually know how this works with prioritization. Let's say your hero, are next to 4 units, and your Remnant is next to 4 units. Where do the chains go?
I thought it was all of them.
Do they both? Do they, like, you hit 4 targets with Searing Chains, right?
Yeah.
Does each Remnant also cast Searing Chains on 4 targets?
No, I mean,
Or do you cast 4 in total that are then split?
I highly doubt it's the latter.
Okay.
Blade Mail activate. No Stampede for Noob. We saw him use it earlier, but he's just going to go for the casual TP. The ultimate counter. Meanwhile, Fly. Waveform's away. He's fine. So 2 separate ganks across the entire map.
The Mail in
Neither
potential
successful.
trouble here, though. They really want to commit
Oh,
for this.
yeah. The egg was placed. The snap
Oh,
onto
nice face
Emo.
shift.
Sleight of Fist is dodged, and Sumail is out of there.
Damn, Beyond is just
really wants this.
living up
Fire
to his
Spirit.
name. Well
gonna
beyond the
back
Tier
away.
2 tower. Sumail.
Yamich now. Yeah, he's going to pay for his transgressions, although Emo is here with a shield rune, so you have to play this cautiously. And on the other side, Noob did get the Wisdom Shrine, so no steals. Actually, you know that sound? That you said is 24? It's not.
It's Law and Order.
Yeah, how did you know?
Because I also read your Twitch chat when we do a podcast together.
Is that, oh,
There were multiple people saying it in chat.
I don't remember that.
No, that's because you can't read. So I don't know where you were told.
Dire's top
I just
tower
thought of
is
it
under
now.
attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did you
like
actually
that.
come up with that yourself?
Yeah, I just pictured the old guy's face, whatever that guy's name is.
Dire's
Well,
Poor Jack
in an
Bauer.
entirely unsurprising turn of events, I was wrong about the series, but it was TV. I did get the right medium. Just
Yeah, that's impressive in and of itself. Trying to burn this shield rune, they basically do here. Firefly's made his way over as well. This tier 1's mega dead.
Yep. Easy pickings for him.
Tower has fallen.
So the side of Nigma Galaxy doesn't really seem like they're putting all that much pressure. They're getting their farm on the cores, with the exception of Puck, who is starting to fall behind here. Sumail having the worst core game out of all of the 6 of them. But it just seems to be a game where Nigma have a little bit of damage issues, but maybe until Centaur gets blinked, it can really start moves off for them.
We got 4 Obscurios.
I love that. Well,
Hell
that
yeah.
should be the average, in a way. Or maybe 5 should be the average. You have about 50% chance of being offered one.
You think everybody will take it?
Sneaky rune steal, pretty much.
Okay, coil used.
Yeah, what was the plan? Was he hoping? He was hoping GH could get there in time with the sentry. But, oh, now Sumail walking in. He's actually being tracked here by Boboka. Could just lasso him.
The lasso.
Oh, this is-
Spaceship. Oh, he actually gets the Waning Rift off, but the Searing Chains potentially set it up. Snowball, they actually want to get aggressive. Wheel Wonder completely wasted. Ollie looks to be dead right off the bat, along with Emo. So somehow NGX able to turn this around. The egg also pops in time. So
that was
NGX
close.
with 3 kills in their name.
That's crucial. If that egg goes off, they're in trouble. Because Morph was ready to give up chase there.
Dire's top
Damn.
tower is under attack.
Close call, but really nice and decisive move there from Nigma Galaxy. And it looked like it was going to go poorly when Boboka got eyes on Sumail out of his Invis rune, but Sumail had the read, got the silence, stayed safe, and they get the nice initiation for now a 3K lead, so big fight for them. Finally unlocking the potential of how this lineup can be played in team fights with their AoE stuns, and as long as Terrorblade gets to stand and deliver, things will be good, but it's probably not going to be this easy every time. The dagger is close for bat. Phoenix almost has Shivas, so big upgrades en route for Yakult.
Yeah, the blink on the bat would have turned the entire thing around. The fact that he had to go into melee range and just by happenstance was Waning Rift.
Yeah. Emo also has Orchid now, to make matters way worse for Sumail, but he's working on a Ewel's as his solution to that problem.
And the smoke.
Yeah, they want to catch the puck. They want immediate value out of this Orchid. Emo saying, go smoke with me, Ollie. We can kill him 2v1 easily, which is
Noob will
correct.
show. They might go for that instead.
Yeah. So
Dire's top tower
plan
is
B,
under
but I
attack.
don't know if they can kill him as 2, especially anticipating there might be backup. And instead, it looks to be Nigma that might pull off a play here.
Oh,
But Fly, they
runs
don't.
into 2, punched into the egg. Gets the attribute shift up, but it's not enough. That is way too much damage. Tag team.
Tag Team Demon
the
Zeal
win.
is dirty. You hit so fast.
Yeah, he was close to full agi before that.
Yeah. I believe he even got off the shift there,
He
but
did. He definitely did.
didn't get off the stick. Perhaps he would have lived with level 4 attribute shift. Who knows? Would have shifted twice as fast. But of course had fewer stats.
We have
as well.
0 Obscurios now.
Everybody converted.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See this massive mana for Fly. Massive power spike.
Yeah, 2 upgraded essence rings. Emo as well as Ollie with that.
Damage finds 1. Boboka able to get to the other side of the shards, though, as this is going to be a Shiva's reveal coming out for Beyond. Of course, does have his egg, might have to use it, leashed up right now.
Great
Boyle
bomb.
uses ET, ult coming in at 3. Massive damage. The egg is applied, though. Nice steering chains as well as Fly. Looking to finish off somebody. Goes extremely low. You're going to be able to take out Sumail. It's going to be close. He does die. And now the Centaur is next on the list. So a good turnaround from your Yakult. Pretty back and forth fight.
GH could not have hit that any better, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, GH looks to be donezo as well. So they end up getting 3 members of NGX, and they can try to go for the pit play. And I assume after this, they're just going to go straight to the Tormentor. If you can get... No, I guess it's not a support. I was going to say, if you could get the Shard on Phoenix, it would be pretty huge. He's going to have to buy that. So you see the replay here.
These chains.
This ET ult,
it's
only
amazing,
level
but
1.
3 heroes were chained during it. And then coming out of this, he gets another quad chain.
This facet is
Emo is,
absurd.
it's ridiculous how much he's doing in these fights. And we're pretty much back to even off of that. Oh.
Are we?
Yeah, more or less.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Aegis now in the hands of Emo. He can play even more ham.
Yep. This chain gang facet, did that really need a buff?
I was thinking the same thing.
And what was your conclusion?
No.
Impressive you were thinking to begin with.
Radiant
God, I'm going to think of it every time that goes off. That's actually really annoying. I've never watched an episode in my life.
Maybe Law & Order sponsored Dota.
That's true.
This is a partnership.
Could be. Ollie trying to defend the Wisdom Shrine. He will be ganked for his troubles.
He's saving the life of Fly though. And they're getting the Shrine. So this is actually a really good death from Ollie, and they might even get a chase going.
Yeah,
Oh, they will.
Waveform onto a couple. The Echo Stomp into the Stampede, though. Baboka looking for a connection, gets silenced. Emo wants to continue, but won't find the distance. So instead, they lose 1, but they still maintain the Shrine at the very least.
Had Emo orchided the ET instead of the Tusk, they get at least 1 kill there. Maybe even 2. So, bit of a mistake there.
Looks
Nigma
like
Galaxy with a good disengage.
Beyond is going to be going for Sheepstick as his second item.
Yep. I'm happy to see this. This is the exact item build I was asking for. Shiva's into Hex.
You don't think Shard? I feel like it's pretty damn good.
Phoenix Shard is very good, but I think it's better to rush the Hex here and then get Shard after.
Okay.
Oh, smoke up Baboka.
Oh, he's still in full Agi right now. Get the Echo Stomp off.
Oh. A little blood grenade for good measure.
Yeah, okay. Just walk away. He's going to wake him up with another right click, I suppose, but pretty close to dead there. Nemo with the Searing Chains, Orchid onto Tusk, Sumail with the counter silence. It's going to illusory orb away as, oh, there's a Blink Dagger on Yamich apparently. He'll still take a Searing Chains, they'll catch up. Gets the punch off as well. Is he actually going to survive this? It looks like he is.
Oh, go to Orchid.
Orchid
He's
onto
leashed.
Centaur.
He has Aegis.
He does have Aegis. Doesn't want to use it. Still 2.5 minutes. I feel like a big waste here.
Such a crazy quality for Ember to be able to chain around your Remnant so that when you're leashed and you can throw out a Fire Remnant, you can still hit chains from range. Usually you wouldn't be unable to because you can't use slight chains when you're coiled by Puck, but he can just Remnant chains. It's actually counteracting a ton of this counter. That's the one counterpart of the matchup Puck even has to begin with. Damage immediately TPing back up top. But we should mention, while all this is going on, Ghost is farming up an absolute storm here on the TB. He's
forgot he was in the
2,000
game.
ahead of the Morph. He's just quietly approaching 300 CS, minute 23.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Really
attack.
making the most of the amount of space that his teammates are giving him, and he will need to pay it back later. As the panel talked about, though, not the best Terrorblade core matchup, so important for him that he is ahead. I think if you're tied here, it's going to be a tough one to deliver in against heroes like Morphling and Phoenix. But if you're an item ahead, it can help with a lot of problems. He's going to rush the Scotty here. I say rush. He's going to get Scotty next, which is now changed.
Yep,
This
35 stats now.
Yeah, it's 35 all stats. You use 2 ulti orbs instead of the point booster.
Never seen that one before. Stampede. They really want this Arcane Rune. Yules into the air. Emo still gets it, though, but the coil comes out. This is going to be Aegis. And now NGX is going to be happy with this exchange. They will hightail away. But now, the counter smoke from Yakult.
Yeah, they know there's no coil. And there's also no Stampede.
Yeah, NGX
Big
should
moment
have
for
a
them.
decent idea that this is happening, although Noob looks like he'll be the sacrifice. Very tanky and a nice snowball. Is that going to be enough to save him? Sumail comes in with a Waning Rift as well. Wheel of Wonder to follow. Emo has to use the Essence Ring to stay alive. They get the tanky target they intended.
Oh, now they
Might
just
have to back
meta,
away
too.
now, though. Fly turns into the Terror Blade. Little miniature version, of course. Snowball upon him. He's a half HP. Baboka with a Force Staff. Fly. Waveforms away. And looks like that will likely break things up. I say that, but Emo wants to fight, apparently. Gets the steering chains on a multiple illusions. There's the egg in the midst of all of this. The Orchid now onto the Terror Blade. The egg will explode. It's going to be in range for the TB. It is. Down goes Ghost. Very good connection from Yakult. They're going to find a support on the back end as well. So all said and done, it's 3 dead for NGX. Nice little bait and switch there from Yakult.
Yeah, I mean, these are just some cores that are really annoying to play against. Ember and Morph. When you strike, you gotta make it count. They just kite them out the entire way. Can't quite take down the Ember fully. And afterwards, when they try to go on the Morph, he gets Force Staffed first by Baboka, and then afterwards he pops the Manta and gets out. You're gonna see that replay here. So this opening, quick little Force Staff, Puck Silence waveform out, and now you're in a compromised position because your only way back to base is to run straight right, but Phoenix will just cut you off here with the Shiva's Guard. And this is a beautiful setup that Nigma Galaxy just can't really do anything at this point. You either need to blink earlier on the Tusk for the save snowball before the Supernova explosion goes off, or you just need to cut him. But you really don't want to cut Ghost. You know how rich he is and how much he's worth for your team. It begs the question, was that a fight they were meant to take to begin with? With Centaur down, as you mentioned, maybe that's just a bit too rough.
Now we look at the net worth. Quite even. The NGX.
That's the thing about this game. It felt even when Nigma were ahead by 5k, right? It's just like the way in which the heroes interact in this draft. I don't think it's necessary for Yakult Brothers to be ahead on gold. They just need to buy the right items and play tight.
And you can see the discrepancy now between the two carries, not as large as it once was.
Yeah, it's basically caught up now on Fly after that fight. Now the Phoenix Hex is inbound. See what he puts in his quick buy after, if it will be that shard. It would then line up quite well. He doesn't have level 4 Sunray yet, which is pretty standard for core Phoenixes to prioritize the other 2 spells, which by extension also makes the shard worse until you have that maxed out Sunray.
Has Tormy been killed?
I don't think so. I think it's bottom, right? No, it has been killed. Huh. Who killed it?
Well, it had to be NGX because they're the only ones with shards right now.
Yeah, Yamich got it earlier.
Okay. Yeah, this would be a game where the old Ringmaster shard would be pretty valuable against the TB, as we've said 1.5 million times already.
It's been nerfed, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's still good. I mean, without a doubt.
The Bat Rider one, not so great. Unless that was changed. I don't remember reading it.
I mean, his shard, when you're running Arsonist, removes the stack limit, and you can deal damage to structures with Napalm.
That's right. That's different.
It's still kind of meh, isn't it? And he's not going to buy it.
Yeah.
So, Fly gets the tower. Noob was trying for a deny, not going to happen.
Emo from the backstab perspective has the shield rune. Pipe is popped. This is everybody.
It's a bait.
Oh, it was. Noob is actually staying alive. The stuns onto Emo. Gets the BKB off in time, but they have the Hex onto Sumail. They have the silence. They're using it to keep him alive. ETL deletes one. Beyond is dead before getting anything off. 2-for-1 special for NGX. Baboka is going to spot out Yamich. Yamich completely isolated from the rest of his team. He just casually dies in the corner here as Emo completes his double kill. And Sumail being chased by another version of himself. Oh, nice dodge. Sumail gets slighted anyway, though. Cannot get out in time, and with that, Yakult wins the fight.
GH is playing a hell of a game, but it's just not enough. And I don't know if that was a deliberate bait from Noob. It kind of looked like it, but the teammates were just a little bit too far away for that. So sure, you do get a fight out of it, but your Centaur was so low when the fight began that he didn't have too much left in the tank to really contribute. And did end up dying. The follow-up fight, though, they did a good job on Nigma Galaxy not letting the Supernova be cast at all by Beyond. But in spite of that, they still come out the losers of this fight.
Yeah, it will be the shard for the Phoenix.
I find it interesting in this game that Fly values 2 all attributes over 15% magic resistance or 12 morph duration. He did not take a 10 talent. I guess there's not that much magic damage. It's ET and Puck and some Centaur. But then 12-second morph duration is pretty good, no? It's 50% longer with this. Goes from 24 to 36.
Yeah, well, Morphling players have a screw loose on average.
I honestly can't argue with that. Need a little bit of a special mental asylum for all Morphling TA and, of course, Broodmother pickers. They can live together there. Unless you're picking TA support, I salute you. I think that's cool and fun and hipster.
Yeah, but the Lions as well, they put in there for me. Lion players.
We're unfortunately out of space.
Please. BKB pretty close for Fly. It's got the Butterfly, Manta, Vlad's, and Dragon Lance.
Smoke up time. Yakult want to make another move here.
And so does NGX.
Yeah, everybody has everything. Time for a big clash. Nigma might walk into a trap here.
Oh, this could be a huge Wheel of Wonder, but the stun comes out onto the Ringmaster, able to box himself. As Emo and company, they focus down Sumail, completely isolated and dead. So it's a 1-for-1, but support for mid, not nearly close if you're an NGX fan. Egg is still available. See if they want to continue to try to chase here. They know that meta's been used. Noob in the trees will blink, and I think NGX will concede this fight.
Oh, Fly turning into the Elder Titan. If he waveforms in and just becomes ET, he's going to smack the ever-living crap out of TB with a natural order.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
So yeah, who's countering who, really?
Yeah, meta's going to be ending soon, but Sumail will also be up, so a bit sketchy from Yakult. BKB.
That's
for
a
Baboka.
nice pickup for him for this follow-up fight if it were to break out. Gives him a lot of freedom. Just keep applying sticky napalm stacks. It's nice to see a traditional Batrider build. Blink, Force, BKB. He's got treads, so not completely. The real traditional won't be Tranquils, but close enough to good old Bat. Glimmering in beyond. There's an Illusion Rune.
Yep, Echo Stomp. Only going to hit 1. Shivas connects onto 2 heroes in the meantime. Emo trying to chase off the support here. Yamich in the corner gets the Walrus Punch. Sumail with... Oh, are they just going to kill him?
To that?
Emo
What?
just casually dies, and with that, Yakult just have to get the hell out. Fly in the cover of the egg with the Sunray to follow, just right-clicking away. The Wheel of Wonder is beautiful onto 2. The egg will connect as well. Do they have the damage finish? Of course, he gets the Thunder and the GH in time. They do get the Centaurs that continue to fight without their Ember Spirit. Beyond and the Morph inside of the shards here, stuck. Trying to fight his way out is Fly. Super low now as the attribute shifts as high as he can, turning it onto Sumail's already at half HP himself. The whip not going to hit. Yamich just casually goes down in the meantime. His Ghost doesn't have Thunder to work with, gets killed off. They actually stayed too long despite being at the number advantage. And Sumail with the phase shift. Echo Stomp hits onto the Morphling. Very important as Yamich punches him into the grave. And surely with that, Yakult will eventually lose this fight. Ollie stuck inside the shards. They don't have the vision, though. He actually goes to the north. Oh my god, he's actually going to get out of this. Are you kidding me?
TP. Snowball. Oh, punch him.
All right, they eventually find him.
Okay.
So Baboka, the only one to get out for Yakult. That cost 2 buybacks for NGX, though.
That was a crazy fight. Considering Ember died before it even really broke out, what an insane result that ended up being. You gotta say that Nigma Galaxy do come out on top there, even though they have to expend 2 buybacks to the 1 of Ollie. Yeah.
But the fact that that was even competitive 4 versus 5 is kind of insane.
Yeah, it's such a great area to fight for Phoenix, though. The stairwells in Dota is like one of the best places. Like everything is so...
I mean, you could say the same thing about ET, though.
Yeah, I mean, both of them had great impact in that fight. I think the main difference is just the Phoenix impact lasts longer. And the ET Stomp gets counterplayed by the BKBs and by, you know, you have BKB on all 3 cores on your Colt, and the Phoenix got Supernova off, then ET does nothing to you. So, did end up drawing the longer straw in the beginning of the fight, but yeah, had Ember been alive, that would have been a complete beatdown. That's why Nigma Galaxy went for the chase. Now they're trying to get the grand prize here. They all start getting chained, though. This is super annoying, actually. He just chained them off cooldown
He's
here.
going to go in. Sees that Roche is at about half HP. Emo
all right.
being super aggressive here. Still with the BKB activated. We'll finally have to remnant away. Yamit barely survives. But they do defend Roche successfully.
Dude, that's so obnoxious for the Roche pit. Just throw in a fire remnant and then use chain gang searing chains. You hit the entire enemy team in the pit.
Yeah, I don't know how you deal with that.
I mean, you need to have vision in order for the chains to hit, though, right? When you throw in the remnant, you have to also obtain some sort of information somehow. But they have ways of doing that. Phoenix, Batrider.
Roche on the way to the north. Emo's damage rune about to run out. Does he throw invis targets?
That's a good question. I don't think so. He can't see them.
But he bumps into you, I assume, still.
This
It's like, what was that?
tripped over a person.
NGX, they're in the opposing triangle right now. These teams are doing circles around each other. There's one scan.
Yeah, dire scan successful.
There's the Law and Order.
Yep. Thank you. I hope they never change that sound. As a matter of fact, I hope they change it to the exact sound from Law and Order.
Oh, they should change the sword that comes up into a gavel instead.
Yeah. And then it should say Law and Order here.
Yeah, next episode this week.
Radiant structure.
That's different when we do it, though.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that sounds different. Huh.
So maybe it's not that exact ping. Is it the exclamation mark? Is it the caution one? No, it's not the caution one, right? It's not that one. There's an exclamation mark as well.
Maybe it's
top
different
right.
for spectators.
That's also not that one. Wait, what?
Radiant's middle tower.
That's why we were confused yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an axe in the game. That's a really important one.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Why is
Why is that
Bottom tower
axe?
is under attack.
Are observers just axe?
Yep, understandable.
Axe is watching.
And look at where these two teams are. They've been around here for a good
Radiant's middle tower
minute
is
and a
under
half.
attack. Radiant's
Well, your
courier
call, they're gonna say,
Okay.
fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, Roche.
And it'll work.
NGX.
Nigma are too far away.
They do have Stampede, though.
And they kind of just pull one on them here. They got this for free?
I guess so. It looks like it's going to be the case. Wow. After all of that.
Yeah, that just got outmaneuvered a bit there on the side of Nigma Galaxy. That's definitely not what they were looking for.
And they still had to scan, too. Okay, well, Aegis on Fly. So,
He's buying Shard next, by the way. So he's trying to address all these stuns now.
Oh,
Wants
yeah.
to make sure he can get off the shift.
yep, good choice. So if you can get the instant initiation onto Ember, that has got to be your go-to in terms of the cores. Since he's not the one with the Aegis, but the supports are really the
Dire's
issue.
middle tower
Feels
is
like
under attack.
I think the biggest challenge here for Nigma Galaxy is killing heroes fast enough.
Bottom tower is under
If you don't
attack.
manage to burst them within your stun durations and they get BKBs off, they have so much counterplay. Ember can just jump away and he has all sorts of stuff now with the Aghanim Scepter. You're playing into the Phoenix Supernova, you're playing into a Morphling with Aegis. And you know that Yakult Bros are not going back unless you make them here. So this side lane push from Ghost, I kind of wish he would have stayed down there a little bit longer for the side of Nigma Galaxy. Because yeah, they're going to lose this bot tier 2, but actually the threat is not serious enough that Yakult have to go back for anything now.
Fly successfully gets the tower. We'll get the Ranger Axe as well. Sumail with the Waning Rift. And the Remnant. Just one Remnant. Forces NGX back. They're scared of Emo. I don't blame them.
I mean, if he roots 4 of their heroes next to each other under the barracks, I mean...
All right, Roshan's banner taken out. So the push might be ending here.
Emo can take care of the trash lane and still be there with Fire Inlet. One of the big assets of this hero, of course, the global presence. So make no mistake, there's still 5 heroes mid, just one of them showing bottom for the time being, but he is able to immediately connect effectively into the enemy base at the mid lane melee barracks. But he's losing that ability now. Fire Emblem is running out,
I
but
think of another hero that hits the same type of power spike that Ember does with Ags. Like, in terms of just the Aghanim Scepter. It's got to be top 5. It's so crazy, this thing.
it's very, very good. I think Shaker Core has to be up there too, right?
People weren't buying Ags on Shaker Core in this last patch, so I don't know about that.
They weren't?
No.
I don't know if you're right about that one.
All right, we'll just
Lasso.
assume I am. Yep, they're going to start things
Nice
out onto the Bat
Lotus.
Rider, able to stop the initiation in its tracks.
Clutch Lotus there from Noob. Very well done.
And the Stampede used to try to counteract. They're going to still try to fight with this Aegis here as Fly. They'll take out Yamich easily, but is this going to be life number 1? No, the attribute shift is continuing to go off. Coil onto 2, snaps it. He's still staying alive. He just shrugs off the double edge. And Fly, this Scotty's pretty annoying to deal with, but he does survive. And, I mean, still 2 minutes to go on the Aegis.
Just a little bit of time to live steal here off the wave. He'll get back up to almost full here. And yeah, in spite of that great counter initiation with the Lotus Orb against the Lasso, Nigma Galaxy don't really get any secondary kills.
Yep, Hoof Stomp. Able to Manta now. Oh, he actually do burn life number 1. That is huge for NGX.
Killed himself on the Blade Mail.
Yeah, that was not ideal. Fly. Gonna wait for him back. Feels like a lot of poke and prodding here. And Sumail forcing them back again. Echo Stomp gonna miss.
Solid defense. They only lost the range tracks against this Aegis push. That is not bad from Nigma Galaxy. And getting the Aegis for free there on a Blade Mail is kind of funny. Seeing the replay here.
Let's see this. Okay.
Yep. Interesting sound effects. It's from, some of the outtakes of Law & Order. Didn't make it into the real
That's
show.
the kind of noise you make when you say stop hitting yourself. So I think it was appropriate, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh, I guess that's kind of close, actually.
Well, everybody's been taking this OD staff as a neutral. This one on emo right now. So 0.7 seconds of being hidden from the world, and then you take 5% max HP damage when you come out.
Yeah. Of course, worth keeping in mind for all of the neutral items that have actives. That's the added benefit of having it more frequently because of his Octarine Core, but he's going to need it.
Oh, half
Oh
HP.
my
That ET ult destroys him.
Perfect execution.
Absolutely. That is a ginormous kill. 90 seconds of no Ember here for NGX to take advantage of.
I bet he regrets not buying an Aeon Disc right about now instead of this Octarine, but probably doesn't feel like this is likely to happen. But he found a moment of weakness here in Nigma Galaxy, and now they're going to strike. They want to force this buyback. They feel confident that this push could work with no Ember, and soon enough they should realize he doesn't have it. This could be the first lane of barracks here. Of course, they've lost their mid-range, but no melee have been taken yet. Ghost will get started on it, and he will finish it in a moment.
Well, they use another fortification. I wonder why teams do this. Why not wait till they go for another tower? Because surely this is not ending.
Maybe you're holding on to hope that you could bridge the gap for backdoor protection, or...
Well, okay, I stand corrected. They run away.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't finish ranged here, but okay, well, maybe... there's plenty of time left on Metamorphosis, actually.
They'll be happy with their spoils.
Very even game now, once again.
It's been a good series. So what's the next item spike, would you say, for either team?
Well, Phoenix is working on a refresher for the side of Yakult. I guess that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Ember will go for Wind Waker next. I don't know.
I should mention the Phoenix has the Dazoon Blood, right?
Yep,
Larger AoE.
I don't know if Wind Waker is the right choice here for emo. I still stand by that. I think Aeon Disc is really good here. You look at the way Nigma Galaxy take fights, it's either they 100-0 you in their stuns or they fail. And nobody's buying a Nullifier in their team. Terrorblade's he's going MKB against your Morphling, the puck doesn't want to buy Nullifier, but might have to if you buy the disc. Then you're forcing him to buy a more expensive item. But instead, he is eyeing up that Wind Waker, which, of course, by all means, is great against Coil. I'm not going to argue it's a bad purchase, but I'm just not sure it's the best. But maybe he's just planning for the inevitable, you know, the 25 talent, the Dream Coil Pierce, wants to be able to get out of the coil, and maybe thinks he will die even with a disc, which with puck 25 might be a valid concern, to be honest. So, might have to
What do
take
you
it
think
back
about this Yamich Ags? It's not there yet. He's halfway there, but this choice, I feel like it's actually not that good of an Ags game for Tusk. Usually you want it on a core that doesn't have mobility. You can just wait for their BKB like a Sven or something and just kick him out of the fight. And that's not really the cores that Yakult's working with.
I kind of agree. I think I would like a second Lotus Orb, or because you just want ways of dispelling Searing Chains and countering bad, right? I think second Lotus would have been nice. Otherwise, maybe an Aura. So I think I'm with you on that. I don't really necessarily think... At the same time, that is the one way you can get Morphling enough out of position that he can't reset it fully, right? But kicking him back isn't necessarily a free fight, especially now that he has Satanic. I think you kick him into the base, you just fight back. But should say with the puck 25, maybe that dynamic changes enough. You kick them out of the coil.
All right, focus onto the Centaur right now. They're going to get the lasso, but the instant Walrus punch comes out. As Flyfly's in a lot of trouble. He gets deleted by the ET ult again. Noob is the trade as Emo finally passes the BKB. Wheel of Wonder is used as Ghost running around in circles with like a chicken with his head cut off. We'll finally get to the other side of the river as the egg explodes. 1 for 2, but that's a Morphling down for Yakult.
Yeah, don't think Nigma Galaxy can really do much with this, though. I think even Roshan should theoretically be off the table here because of how Ember and Phoenix interact with the pit. They still have, keep in mind, a second Supernova here. I think Nigma are pretty quickly just going to give up on this idea. Instead, Sumail looking for Baboka. We'll find him.
Yep, he will not die, though.
Can't kill him. This should be the end of that. Don't think anybody gets anything here.
So how is Flyfly dying so fast?
He just got exploded by the ET ult. I don't know if he got his Satanic off and was hitting anything to heal up, but...
Yeah, but he was already kind of low when the ET ult.
Tag Team Terrorblade.
It's pretty sick.
It hits hard. You know,
Yeah, they're just waiting for this. There has not really been any clean lasso pickoffs, it feels like.
yeah, he gets...
Yamich has been all over the place with the
counterplayed every
Walrus
time.
punch counterplay. Very fast fingers on the Tusk today, and Roche will live for another day. Is there a point where this Phoenix as your core falls off, you think? I mean, I know that there's like pretty much... There's so many possibilities with like an eventual Ags that can just be, you know, game-breaking or game-throwing.
I don't really think this hero falls off. The 25 talent is also great. Either you get Supernova hit count or you get way longer dive range. And
I think you go the dive range, I would assume. Nobody's killing the egg.
I would like him to buy Blink Dagger.
They're going to find Yamich.
It's a nice little free pick. Can they turn this into a Roche or at least threaten it?
You want a Blink Dagger on Phoenix?
I think so. Like you pop all your stuff, you blink on top of the enemy team, and you just egg when they're in chains. And one of two things will happen. Either you force all their BKBs in a disengage, or you force Stampede and you have a second egg. I don't know.
The coil onto the Ember. Puts himself in a step exile, but he gets boxed up. Trying to get to the other side as they do find Ollie in the end. And Emo just barely gets out.
Nigma
a few
used
hundred hit
quite
points.
a lot there.
Yeah, into the pit they go. That's a buyback now. And this is the remnant Searing Chains you're talking about.
Yeah, they need vision to chain them up.
Nullifier was completed, actually, from Sumail.
Oh, he suddenly got that. That was out of nowhere. This definitely makes an Aeon Disc way less interesting for the Ember. They still have the one on Phoenix, but it is popped.
This is for the box, I assume, mostly.
Yeah. That was the sole reason that Emo survived there, was the box. And yeah, with the Nullifier, I don't have to worry too much about that anymore. The Galaxy are threatening Roche once more.
Man, this has been quite an interesting game. Emo just scouting things out, making sure Roche is not being plucked.
In goes Fly. He will be spotted.
Roche
They
not
stopped
happy.
Roche for him. That's kind of helpful,
Gonna use
actually.
that to his advantage. Ice Shard's blocking Roche from fully getting into the sweet spot of the pit. Fly trying to solo this, but Noob coming in with the hoof stomp.
Oh, the
the
stomp!
Echo Stomp onto 2. Beautiful timing. They have the Walrus Punch onto the Phoenix. Phoenix is dead. No buyback at all. Fly has to pop the BKB. Likely will just retreat now with no egg, and that's a double egg potential.
Wow.
Beyond getting caught off guard. That Echo Stomp was beautiful.
Talk about the dream timing there for GH. Yeah, that Roche is theirs. Without Supernova, no way Yakult fight them. And that seemed almost by chance. Like, he was stomping, and then Phoenix dove into it. Yeah, 2 Supernovas. They just both unused now. Aeon Disc was on cooldown, so it wasn't able to break out of it and cast the egg.
This is going to be an interesting defense for Yakult. There's a damage rune now for Sumail. They have Aegis, Cheese. Who's a refresher shard is on Sumail, actually, so double coil potential.
Yeah. Nigma are going to be very strong in this upcoming fight, but it's not going to be free in the enemy base. Lasso.
Yep, Lasso trying to pick off this pesky Elder Titan, and they'll do so. GH is dead. Does have buyback here. There's the pressure being applied to the tier 3 Ghost in that meta form. We'll get the Conjure image off again, and they should be able to get the tower. Although the fortification finally comes out. Work it onto the Centaur. Emo just trying to delay as much as possible. These knives are pretty annoying for the Centaur. Percentage max HP and all.
I have so much
You
annoying
force them
poke.
out. Are they actually going to continue to go at Boboka? Flame Break onto 2. They're trying to get to the high ground. Ghost, his meta's going to be running out at some point. Emo with the BKB. The Wheel of Wonder onto 2 heroes with the Sunray. The Terrorblade is life number 1. They get the second onto the Centaur as well as Yamich has the BKB trying to run away. But the perma-stuns right now into the Hex onto Sumail. He's in a lot of trouble. Fly with the Satanic staying alive through the ET ult. Turns into the Meta Man himself. Sumail gets to the other side of the trees, but they get the Thunder onto Fly. The box is immediately dispelled by the Nullifier. Waveforms to the low ground. Still very healthy on this Morphling. In the midst of all that, Emo dies.
God, this is such a close fight. The big difference maker this time around for the side of Yakult is they finally have a fight with 2 Supernovas going off, but once again, Nigma Galaxy are able to isolate and kill Emo relatively early in the fight. Crazy game on a knife's edge right now. Now GH, Noob, and Boboka, all 3 of them using their buybacks there, so some clear targets in the future fights. Who you want to take down. Killing off the ET, that pluck that Batrider got was a really great way to start that and what enabled the chase to begin with. Boboka would love to find the Elder Titan once more now.
Oh yeah.
If they manage to take him down first, the fights just get a hell of a lot easier for the side of Yakult. As GH, one of the best ET Games performances I've seen in a long time. Really bringing it together here. Will be rewarded a
Poor Noob.
52-minute shard.
Poor Noob. The only one without a shard now on the NGX side.
I wonder which one they would rather have, because GH does have Ags, so the shard is actually quite good on him.
That is true.
He's able to now just, if he stomps on top of the Morph, he can just teleport next to him and smack him together with TB for a very quick kill. Misery was talking about this, where in the majority of ET games, you don't really get here. So the whole ET owns Morph thing is kind of more of a niche thing, which is how often is your ET meleeing the Morph in a fight. You're mostly playing from long range, you're doing your spell combo, but when you have the Shard Axe, you have the choice. And I would love to see GH buy a Ghost Scepter now so that he can just teleport next to Morph and just Ghost Scepter up. Not hit him yourself. Let Terrorblade take care of business and make sure you survive.
By.
Radiant are scanning.
But we'll see. He has a Gale Guard at the very least to protect himself with for now. But we're approaching that point where Morphling 3-shots you. So you have to be very, very careful when you go in. Smoke up from Nigma. This is a potential game ender, one way or the other. Multiple buybacks unavailable. 54 minutes in. 5k lead is nothing. This is not about the gold anymore. It's about who gets the jump and who actually gets to string together a meaningful fight.
Yep, it's about the buybacks. 4 buybacks right now, 2 for each side.
Nigma are very hesitant. They smoke up and they barely move. during this one.
I feel like in that last fight, if Emo had his buyback, they would have cleaned up pretty nicely.
Yeah, true that.
And Morph is actually only 900 away from getting his buyback. So another potential core with a second life. But yeah, the next Rosh is not close. So that's where you try to create some space, maybe get a pick off. You don't want to be sitting in your base this whole time.
Yeah. Got to take some risks.
The fact that Baboka is level 25, kind of crazy before Beyond gets there, in fact.
Yep.
Flame Break applies 4 sticky napalm stacks. Okay.
Now, it does in turn mean that Baboka, once BKBs run down, he can slow heroes to a crawl from range. 7-second cooldown on the Flame Break. Everybody you hit gets 4 stacks of napalm. You also cast your napalm outside of that. And he bought an E-Blade. I'm not sure how much I love that. The idea is that they want to use it as a save. He bought that after the nullifier of Puck.
Oh, they're going to try to take the Phoenix.
He got the egg off.
They're not able to kill it, as you see Emo. Searing Chain's going to be loaded off.
Force the egg, not bad.
Yeah, 1 egg down.
Egg and disc, he will refresh everything. And they will smoke up themselves. So not
They know that
thwarted by
coil
this.
is down.
Yep, that's big news for Emo. This is actually, I really love this play call of consider that trade of victory for yourself when you have refresher on Phoenix.
Sumail in the river. Oh, Baboka.
Radiant's
Baboka
No vision.
doesn't have a way to pop the Lincolns easily. He has E-Blade. I guess he does have Hurricane Pike, which is probably the fastest.
Don't have the information.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very
Smoke
tense
breaks.
game number 2 here.
Yeah, they're going to back off. They just don't feel like they have enough information, but they did leave a ward behind.
Yep, Walrus Punch finds Baboka. Has to pop the BKB in retreat. Oh, gets off the lasso. The Tusk onto the other side. Looks like Yamish is going to be the first casualty here. Does have buyback.
The E-Blade worked great for himself.
That's
So,
true.
When he was BKB'd during that situation, they couldn't hit him. Emo's
Searing
in.
Chains onto Ghost. Oh, they actually forced out the BKB again. The coil already expended. There's the buyback onto Yamish. Ghost going to avoid the Wheel of Wonder with the BKB. Applying all the pressure he can to Fly, but this egg is doing work. The Stun Ray just ripping through him with Fly's right click as well. Down goes Terrorblade. Now let's see how much more Yakult can get out of this. The Hex onto Sumail. The whip to follow. They have the control. They should have the damage as well, though. Fly ends up on the wrong side. Doesn't matter. 2 big kills for Yakult.
3 even. The Tusk buyback too,
true.
right? So at this point, every kill is big because if you force buybacks, it's worth a lot, and it limits the amount of counterplays the enemy team will have when you make your inevitable counter push, and that is coming their way, and make no mistake. Yakult will not play defensively once they get a little advantage here, so the question is, how many buybacks will Nigma Galaxy need to use here? Can they somehow float this defense with just the Puck, or do they have to spend both? And if they do, they better get some kills. If they buy both heroes back and get no kills and Yakult just disengage, if they get the next Rosh, that would probably be game. With the raw numbers advantage they would have. There's the
Crimson
flip.
Guard with the fortification, going to delay things. There's still a tier 2 bots. I think they might just go Throne here, potentially, try to force out this buyback. Well, they can get top, I suppose. It's a very safe play, though.
Yeah, I don't think they had a chance of getting mid in 30 seconds against Puck ET.
Tier 3 top will fall. Noob with a nice double hoof stomp. And the Waning Rift to follow. Yamish with the Walrus Punch. But remember, you can use Attribute Shift now while stunned with that shard. And Yamish is going to get a dieback now.
That's no
Little
good.
bit too close for comfort. And now potentially going to be getting the Centaur as well. Noob gets the Stampede off. The box to save 1. Coil expended already for Sumail. The ETL doing work against the Morphling, but now he's starting to heal up. Terror Wave from Ghost. Didn't know he had an Aghanim Scepter. They're going to try to get the hell out of dodge. Morphling TP's out to safety. The Bat Rider, Hoof Stomp cancels his TP.
That's a Phoenix.
That's a Phoenix. He dies anyway.
That's a Phoenix.
That's a Phoenix. Okay. Can they force these 2 buybacks? Because if they can't, then Yakult are going to be at a massive advantage in the next eventual push. We are approaching 60 minutes as well.
Yep. Oh, we'll get there. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah. Bat Rider only 30 gold away from. Well, it looks like he's going to have his buyback in 10 seconds. So the full squad of Yakult Brothers will have second lives.
Roche spawning in about 40 seconds here. That's what my math tells me. Thank you, Valve. Considering the 100 QOL things you put in the game, you didn't put in the one thing I asked for.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Of course, the
Nobody
clock.
listens.
Nobody wants to look at the clock and actually read what it says. So that's fine. Don't you worry.
They didn't add
Push
the
will come
Tormentor
in.
thing either.
That's right.
The
Yeah,
time.
actually, the two things we would like for quality of life. They added everything else. Everything we didn't know we wanted.
Now,
right.
Ghost with the Demon Zeal. These illusions are no joke.
Lasso?
The lasso onto the Terror Blade. The right clicks are doing so much damage. Ghost with the BKB trying to retreat now. The Force Staff away.
Ooh. Spooky.
That was close.
And that got the Phoenix buyback, actually. Because Yakult thought they were going to take a game-winning fight there.
But still,
So it ends up working against them a little bit.
that's 1 out of 5 buybacks.
Yep. Roshan is up in the bottom side. They know there's no lasso. Will Nigma Galaxy try to pull the trigger on this?
That's pretty risky.
Refresher for Morphling. He bought it and
60
instantly
minutes.
sold it, I think.
Let's see
Two
what
and a
tier
buyback.
5s we get to play with today.
Oh, he
ladies
does
and
have
gentlemen.
Refresher and buyback. Wait, how much gold did he just
How
have? He
many?
had like
How many
10K.
Undyes winning again? We're gonna see the Terror Wave come out. They're gonna be able to delete Emo right off the bat. They get Ollie as well. Both of these members have buyback, but still.
I wasn't even looking there. That's why I started talking about items. Like,
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell you were doing.
No, but why were they that far away from everyone else?
This will be a free Roche.
Total blunder. Yakult Brothers unnecessarily fragmented in that moment. And Nigma Galaxy with an easy grab, very quick and decisive kills. And they get the grand reward. Now, who gets the Aegis? It will be Sumail. He's the core without buyback, so I guess it makes sense to put it on him over the TB. There's another 4 minutes on his buyback cooldown. Took me a while to read through the 17 lines of text when you mouse over buyback now to figure out where that was, but it is the fourth bottom line is the buyback cooldown.
Good.
Actually, it looks different there. That's because you're mousing over a
Titanic
hero that doesn't
Divine
have it.
Regalia for Fly. He will do 20% more damage, along with the 20% base attack damage from
my God,
Titanic
it's
and
gonna hit
50%
so hard.
status resist. But if he dies,
Yep.
that neutral is useless. As Ghost knocking on the door, still 2 buybacks for Yakult. They're just gonna give this up? Beyond.
Damage.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to get the lasso onto the Terror Blade. The Sunray to follow with the egg. Trying to keep the Morphling alive. Morphling is more than fine as the stun actually does connect onto the puck.
He piked
There's a
out.
refresher. Beyond. Oh my god, that double edge destroys Baboka. Get up another egg. Do they actually have the right clicks to go through it? It looks like they might. With the fear to follow. That's 2 buybacks now, but the Phoenix has no way to get back into the game. Somehow NGX is doing this. Ghost, super low on HP, needs a Sunder target. Looking for a teammate. Yamich will be the one that he chooses. Fly and Emo trying to defend with all their heart. Feels like they have thrown this lead away, potentially. They're going to get force type in. Emo is dead. Buys back instantly, but look at NGX's HP. The super low. Emo gets stunned. He gets destroyed a second time. He dies twice in a matter of 3 seconds. As GG's called. How did the game end like this? NGX take it to a game 3 somehow. I have no clue.
Yeah, that... Your guess is as good as mine.
That was such...
I mean, look at you.
Yeah, Sun's
really
finished
thought
in
that
here.
could have been a beatdown from Yakult.
Well,
but,
not a beatdown. I feel like Yakult kind of threw it away at the pretty hard. That felt like almost like a pub late game where you're just chain feeding. You have all these extra buybacks. You have such an advantage, and you just get picked off. Like that one in the jungle, where I mean,
Yeah.
Emo got picked up a lot that game, but there was one in particular where he and the Ringmaster get picked off. They have to force their buybacks eventually. Very, very messy end of the game, but it was exciting.
Should say before we get started on this, thanks again to the PogChamp Pandas for playing the legendary Danish song Eblemen kom indenfor, which they will definitely not know it as, but that is
That song was
a great song.
that song was in Greece.
A movie,
Yep.
I'm guessing. You have to specify with me when you say that if you mean Grease the country or Grease the movie.
Oh, true.
Georgia, the country, is much obliged. Ghost?
Yeah, he's in a bit
Well,
of trouble.
get
Ethan Remnant
pulled
brings him back into the
fine.
arms of Yakult, but he shall
Wait. Oh, it's
survive. It's close. He has
The
to
rum
run.
started to wear off and he was blood grenaded, so got a little bit spicy, but he will live. Yeah. So looking at these two drafts, the panel was torn here, which I found interesting. That it seemed like Jenkins was pretty confident in Yakult, whereas both BSJ and Misery were leaning toward Nigma Galaxy. What I will say here is I don't necessarily think this is that good of a Tinker core game. I think that's my biggest concern here for Samael is what makes this hero strong is when either the enemy team cannot get on top of you or you have really strong protection for when they do. And I do think between Pango, Batrider, and Void Spirit, you have multiple heroes that can actually catch and kill Tinker. And when you give it core priority, you're putting a lot of pressure on Samael, which, again, as they were debating, was that maybe was mid-shaker perhaps the better idea? We'll see when this game plays out, but I kind of like the mid-shaker idea better myself as well. And,
Only time will tell, Cinderin.
Samael can carry.
I mean, I will say this, though. Yamich on the Tusk last game was pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah,
He
he's
played
very, very good at that.
exceptionally well, so expecting... Obviously, it's a different type of hero in Earthshaker in some ways. Doesn't have the same type of save potential.
He's best at the melee force, though. That's his bread and butter.
Yep.
When I think of this guy, I think of Tusk and Shaker more so
I mean, they
than
were
any other
using
heroes.
the Tusk. It felt like you just wait for, instead of just using Snowball to save inherently, you get the Walrus punches. GH is burning away. We'll pop the Fairy Fire.
It's okay.
And the Shadow Realm extra right click to Baboka, but he would wait for a lasso target, then blink in and Walrus punch Batrider.
Yeah.
Virtually eliminating the pick-off potential. For this one, Fissure is a lot easier to hit.
Yeah.
That might force out an earlier BKB potentially for Baboka if he goes for a similar itemization.
Speaking of Baboka, this top matchup, the Dark Willow one, is actually kind of interesting for his lane partner in Beyond since... Oh, let's see if they put some pressure onto Ghost here. Nice Brambles. Even though they don't hit, they cut off all the angles that their Colt had. So, Pango against Willow is interesting because Swashbuckle does not deal damage in Shadow Realm since it's attack-based. When you're in Shadow Realm, you do not take damage from attacks, but you do take effects. So, for example, Monkey King's stun will hit you but deals 0 damage. And Swashbuckle, I believe if you have Diffusal, will burn mana but not deal the swash damage, I think? So perhaps GH can play around that a little bit with the Shadow Realm up here to try to stay alive against Beyond.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a niche interaction that these two heroes have with each other that can come into play when they're specifically laning. But for the most part, I do believe this is the type of game where most cores will find good farm. I gotta say, Samael is handing it to Emo in mid right now. 18-6 against 12-1. A nice start for the Tinker.
Yep. Good news for NGX. The judge has spoken. Fly. Trying to run away. And he's actually going to die. First blood to Noob, but the Quill Spray was enough.
And this, in the previous patch, I would say, was Noob's best hero. The Bristleback.
Yeah, but usually it's
Very
like
comfortable on this.
GH getting gone on. Oh, he actually gets blocked off here. Taking a couple more pop shots as a result. Will be burning away. Barely survives.
Good thing for him he had 2 blood grenades, otherwise he would have died. He needed that health
Yeah, true.
from the second one.
But yeah, I feel like that's a really early kill for a Bristleback to get. It's typically it's like accompanied with like a Caudal. Something that enables it. It's an Earthshaker. It's not nearly the same.
Yeah, and against Terrorblade in particular, right?
Yeah,
Has so
high
much
armor.
Like, if he dies again here, Fly, no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is...
Pops the wand, and it's another death.
That's real bad.
Yikes.
That
Great
is
job for
not a
Noob.
death he's meant to have here. Ollie had his spells ready, it looked like, but they were not on the same page. I think Ollie was not in range to help him out, and now he's going to have to walk back to lane, and that does mean you're going to be showing up to lane as a level 3 Terrorblade against a level 5 Bristleback. If Noob can somehow send himself some more resources here and stay in lane, he could bully him out. I would love to see him maybe send out... If he buys the Ring of... He could buy Ring of Health, Wand, and like 2 mangoes and just go to town here, but... He's actually going back to base. I can't say I love that. Like, if you stay here and put that pressure on, maybe with the timing of the waves, this won't be half bad. Maybe it's all right. I guess, considering the wave was behind the tower, maybe the pressure wasn't really able to be put anyway. He'll buy treads, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So he is taking the aggressive approach. Rather than rushing Vanguard, he will go in the attack route.
He's off to an amazing start, but is this the type of game where a bristleback can snowball really hard?
I don't think there's a game that he can't do that.
Okay.
I think this hero by design can just, if the game is good enough for you, it doesn't almost matter what you're against, to be honest, if you farmed enough. Ollie, gonna get flanked here.
Yep, slowed to a crawl. And Fly, he's not going to be able to do too much here. Echo Stomp is not going to be in time, and that is a dead body being thrown across the battlefield by Yamich.
Oh, we should mention Yamich went for Resonating Ridge, the new facet that Shaker has.
Oh, is that the Echo Slam fissure?
Yeah, when you fissure a target, you emit an echo to a nearby unit. I'm assuming you have to skill Echo Slam before this starts working, but yeah, Slugger is now the innate, but then the numbers are worse.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Aether Remnant will catch the old Dark Willow, Dissimulate to follow. Echo Stomp not going to fully hit as the Astral Step is enough to burn GH away. He desperately needs something to go Yakult's way because so far it's been all in GX.
Yeah, the main advantage in this game is, in particular, Fly's lane going this poorly with TB. So there's two ways of solving this problem. Either you gank for him,
Well,
or
gonna try for it again. The meta is popped and TP support on the way. It's Emo, who's also quite low. Echo Stomp's gonna completely miss. I actually don't think they can go for Noob. They're gonna try to turn this around with the Fissure. Not the Astral Step, gonna find Yamich into the arms of the meta Terrorblade. They will find the kill. Emo, though, dies to Noob. This Bristleback is gonna be a problem, is already a problem.
he has more to give. He still has the Lotus. I wouldn't mind seeing him diving both of them here, potentially.
They have to be really careful. Pops the Lotus, dodges the Echo.
Knife
He's
edge.
sticking around.
He really wants
This is a little too much, maybe. On the outskirts of the tower, Yamich and GH make their way over. Ollie. Well, Fly. If he gets some vision with the Shadow Realm, it's going to be the death of him, but the Echo Stomp in time.
Yeah, now GH.
GH on the high ground, stuck in a precarious spot. Fly will come in for the last hit. It'll go to Baboka still. Fly just can't get anything to go his way. At the very least, he does live. Wonder if he gets Sunder here. He actually does.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fissure just kills him, though. Oh, my goodness.
And the card.
Oh, my God.
Yamich with the patient play.
This is the saddest, I should be happy, the saddest Terrorblade game I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, this gets completely shut down here. Now Yamich on Baboka, but Noob
Ghost
connecting.
even makes his way over. X, boat at the ready. Baboka won't be receiving it because he dies beforehand.
Celebratory ship. And down goes the tower. Nigma Galaxy with a very major head start. And this is worth keeping in mind. In this series so far, we have not really seen Nigma Galaxy win the laning stage.
Yeah.
So most of the time in the other games, either it was a slight lead for Yakult or just a draw. This is a meaningful advantage. You're up 3K minute 9 here after taking that tower. And in particular, Noob on his signature hero with an excellent start. Treads Vanguard minute 840. It's pretty ridiculous. And of course, while all this is happening, Sumail just gets to farm. Opting to go for Kaya first on the Tinker. We've seen a lot of players in the previous patch go Null into Blink. But going for, I want to say, a slightly greedier build-up here. It's harder for you to get involved early, but good news is he doesn't really have to. When Bristol is popping off this hard, he can kind of be 2 cores at once for a bit.
Yep, they'll find a little pick off onto GH. Seems to be the only hero that they can kill.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 deaths on Nigma are the Dark Willow. The last one being, of course, the Shaker. So they have only killed supports on Yakult.
I know you're going to not think this is a thing for this game, but I wonder how much that last game...
That's not a thing. What are you saying?
I wonder how much that last game disastrous end for Yakult is in their heads and they're just tilted for game 3.
Well, they were good at hiding it on camera.
Yeah, true.
Say that. They did not look defeated at all.
You got to give NGX credit. They're taking the momentum from that last game, and they have definitely started with it here. Very impressive beginnings to this game. 10 minutes. 3K lead already. Azimo is going to get rooted. Echo Stomp will be dodged, though. Don't have a whole lot of mana to work with. Defense Matrix onto GH. But Emo can't even finish the job. He has to Astral Step away. This is 4 members of Yakult here at Noob. Oh, on the high ground, just double taps Emo. Easy kill for him.
Bristle here, minute 10.
Noob is dominating everyone now.
Nobody could have expected that.
Oh, the root just in time. Beyond can't even get his ult off.
Where'd he even come from? Bristle there, minute 10. This is the enemy ancient areas, the offlaner. He has the whole back. He basically, at this point in time, Noob has the whole map to play on. He can farm all of the bottom area. He can farm his own ancients. He can farm stacks. And he chooses the aggressive angle, and no doubt Yakult were not expecting this rotation. That's one of those things where you're used to a certain playstyle, and Noob just has a different idea. And that pays off big time. They even steal some of the ancients here with Ghost.
Echo Stomp onto the Kunkka, but a lot of the remaining members of NGX are nearby. As the Torrent will hit Beyond, who's still on the high ground. The fact that NGX are even thinking about this is crazy. It's a huge Echo Slam coming out from Yamich on a ton of creep, doing so much, destroys Emo as a result. As Yamich will be the recipient of the Rolling Thunder as Noob continuing his dominance with a double kill. So Beyond gets 1. Might be it though, as the Terrorblade, wrong place, wrong time, gets the Thunder on the Noob. Shield Crash to follow. Finally, this Warthog will die. His reign has ended.
That's actually such an enormous kill for Yakult to find there in a disaster situation. Noob got a little bit too confident against the Thunder, and he ends up costing him. Because there were so many things that went right there. So, as a really important detail, Yamich Fissure killed Ollie at the Tier 1 tower. That got him his level 6, and he instantly leveled up and echoed before he died on the Shaker. I mean, this is not a normal Bristleback heat map, I'll tell you that. This is not usually what it looks like, but pretty cool stuff. I hope
Echo, I wonder how much gold he got out of the creeps from that.
Yeah, there were a couple of creeps, because Noob had pulled the Ancients into the fight because he was farming them with Quill Spray. So they even got more impact out of that. Yeah, this is looking really good for Nigma Galaxy. And they're very comfortable when they're playing fast.
Radiant's middle tower is
Keep in mind, they're doing all of this with, you know, a Tinker that is still coming online, right? Sumail is not playing his traditional, okay, I'm taking over the game mid-heroes like Spirit Heroes or Leshrac or this type of hero, right? It's the fact that the rest of the team is really just stepping up and making tons of successful moves. So once Sumail comes into play with the items on Tinker, could get nasty.
Indeed.
Has the blink, and he's working on eggs.
We have 3 Obscurios on Yakult, playing for the long game. Meanwhile, 0 on NGX. They want to continue to pressure.
Radiant
Beyond planning a dive here, but
yeah, Boca, he's got his lasso at the ready. Beyond, he's going to get his ult off. X and Boat going to do very little other than giving that damage mitigation for the Kunkka, which maybe that's going to be enough. Ghost already low though. Lasso will ensure the kill. Now NGX, he might be bleeding here. Yamich, no, he does have his Echo Slam, not finding a good position for it though, as Emo on the other side of the trees. That would be a very good target. The big shield crash into a swashbuckle though, into the Echo Stomp, as well as Emo comes in to clean house. That's 3 dead for NGX. Sumail, likely the next on the list, and they are just giving up their lead. 4 dead as the creeps break Noob. They don't have any follow-up on the Yakult side.
This was the first fight of the game without Bristle. That is the difference, right? He's been the boss of this game so far, but when he's not present, Nigma aren't that strong without Bristleback. Tinker is still not online. They open on the perfect target in the Kunkka, who can offer a lot of utility in the fights, but has to drop everything defensively on himself. And they just run out of steam. Like, these damage numbers. I mean, look at this fight recap for that one. There's just pitiful numbers on the Nigma side, right? Nobody did anything. The highest damage was the Tinker with just a couple of lasers and a little bit of March, but Pango did twice the damage almost of Tinker. And Terrorblade not even involved. So that was a 4-man move for Yakult. difficult that they won.
They had a 5K lead.
Yep, that was basically the entire game. The entire massive
Oh,
trilogy
Emo!
out of the window.
Echo Slam on top of him. Yemet showing off that
can't
blink
kill him
dagger, but
here.
Emo's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, you're not going to like when I say this, Shannon, but maybe Nigma are a bit tilted after that last game that they won. Let's see if they can recover this after a great comeback.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You
Figure it out.
don't believe in mental warfare apparently, because
I definitely do.
you're immune to it as a robot.
Mental part
The
is
only
very
thing
big in
that,
this game.
yeah, you have a lot of deficiencies for sure in the mental department.
Particular iron deficiency.
Yeah, well, that you can consider that a virus that was uploaded into your system.
Oh yeah, we learned yesterday why it's called a bug.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're gonna tell the story.
No,
just
gotta keep it a secret. So apparently this was from, was it in the 40s or whatever, that there was a moth that got into a computer and it was messing with the hardware or whatever. Since then they started calling it a bug when things didn't work as intended in program. It was kind of interesting.
It is interesting. GH dying though. Not as interesting as the moth story.
Not as interesting of a GH game as the last one. He had an insane ET performance. This Willow leaves a little bit to be desired, I must say. It's been
Yep, 0-5 so far.
Getting caught out a lot.
He'll be caught off guard as well. Gets the lasso up, but dies shortly after. Beyond. That's the rolling thunder onto Yamich. And the Astral Step will be enough to finish the job there. Noob is the only one they can't deal with, so they'll just kill everybody else.
Vessel feels so good to buy in these universal heroes like Pango.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that it gives 10 all attributes instead of the health from before, you get some damage out of it. It's very nice to rush. Also, getting the urn in lane is just that much nicer because it uses a circlet instead of the fluffy hat. So it gives you a better laning stage when you do go for that item. And we didn't really talk about this much, but this is one of Beyond's absolute specialty heroes. Offlane Pango, not particularly popular. There's like a handful of players that play this at a pro level. He's one of the best. So far, so good. 3-1-4 for him. And wait a second, Emo bought Midas on Void Spirit?
What?
Huh? Had a little bit of a phone call with Instanian this morning. Said, bet you can't buy Midas on a worse hero than Disruptor. And Emo said, hold my beer.
Noob. Still quite dominant right now. Top net worth. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's doing that poorly. He's top net worth on his team for Emo. Second in the game.
I don't know what the logic is. I don't really have a good take on this, which is very rare for me, of course. I only have good takes. Firefly. Fly plus Firefly.
Yep, great show, Noob. Going on top of Fly. They get the stun in time. No thunder for you, good sir. So NGX showing a little bit of life after dominating early game, then falling flat.
Yep.
And they're back at it again.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this Midas purchase. What the rationale is here. Maybe he was like, I found Dormant Curio. I can be greedier than this. I'll sacrifice my item and my neutral item simultaneously and still own.
Yeah, that's a puzzling one.
Oh, that's a big item here. Finally, Samael.
Yep.
Level 4 laser with the Ags. Closing in on level 15 talent as well for the extra 50 damage on the laser. He is going to be a problem. But as we talked about, Yakult Brothers do have pretty good heroes to catch him with. Question is if they have the damage to kill him during a defense matrix.
Ooh, are they actually going to go for Roche?
This is interesting.
They do have Echo, but this is against an Elder Titan.
Yeah, and Noob does not have Seeing Red. He has Snot Rocket, so less damage for it.
Oh, they find the Echo Slam into the fissure. Boat's coming. Should be able to get the Thunder off. Oh, they do have the damage with Tinker going in with the laser, the newly picked up Ags that you talked about. So 2 dead for Yakult, and that should open up Roche, surely.
Their lineup is really bad at killing Roche.
Surely they can do it.
I actually don't think 20 seconds is enough. They can just send ET Spirits in there and delay them. Emo, however, getting beat to a pulp here by Noob. He's got to keep chasing him. He's really fast.
Well, well, eventually the Centaur. That would have been bad.
Yeah, Centaur as well. It's the Fissure. Pretty close there. No cigar, though, but still.
All right, well, NGX back in control.
Yeah.
7K all of a sudden. This has been a very roller coaster game.
But as it stands,
That might as well pay off, it seems.
as it stands, they just get to farm more of the map right now. Nigma Galaxy with the early tower takedowns are taking good control here. Contesting the enemy triangle multiple times over. The first one in particular was excellent for them. Fight with Noob and Ghost up there. Find Baboka here, GH with a pick together with Yamich. This is something that's interesting when you're playing Willow. If you have a kill partner in the other support, that's kind of cool. Most of the time, Willow plus the other support won't necessarily have kill power, but with Shaker, you have so many stuns, and Willow can, a lot of the time, kill cores almost by herself with Bedlam. So between that and triple stun from a Shaker...
Do you miss Bedlam on Ally?
No.
No?
I never thought it should have been put in to begin with. I actually think it was...
Oh, Emo, he's rooted. Has the shield rune, though. Pops
damage.
it. We'll be able to dissimulate away. Dodges a lot of spells as a result. Terrorize not going to be fully formed. Is Beyond with the Rolling Thunder, but we see the lasso onto the Bristleback, but that's going to do nothing. He is super fine, and Beyond's ult not going to do too much in the end. Fissure does connect onto Baboka. Sumail showing off that laser Ags. Baboka onto the high ground he goes as Beyond taking the brunt of the damage from Noob. He just two-shots him. Emo on the other side of the wall as Noob actually does have to be a bit careful here. Not completely invincible. Close to it, though.
They're going to X him for the quick heal.
And he has Crimson now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're going to maintain strong position. This is a free tier 2. So this will be up to a 9k lead. They're giving Sumail the Wisdom Shrine as well, their own that is. So he's level 17 now, and of course level 18, a total game changer for Tinker. Once you get that level 3 Keen Conveyance, you can teleport on friendly heroes. And of course the faster rearm.
Beyond turned his, or got rid of his Obscurio, upgraded it to the Brigand's Blade. Emo continuing to stick with the Obscurio Cinderant.
Yeah.
So tier 2, we'll be getting tier 3 choice, and based on the trajectory of this game, you got to go with the tier 3.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree with that. All right, what would be a good one for him to get an upgraded version of, though? I suppose Whisper of the Dread, probably.
Yeah.
Either that or the Shiv, right? You want one of the two.
Well, the what's the punching one? Yeah, that one.
Gunpowder Gauntlet?
Yeah, that's definitely good because it works on Astral Step, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe that's even
extra
better
burst
than I
damage.
think. Here's Torment time. Bristleback, great for this.
Oh yeah.
GH.
That's a good shard.
They made me check again who died, but it was just the Tormentor sound as usual. I'm sure that will be changed soon, because literally every time a Tormentor gets taken, I think someone died.
Yep. Nobody wants your suggestions though.
No,
on the
that's
Valve.
true.
That is very obvious.
Used to.
See, mine get in.
Them.
Chipper got into the game.
Yeah,
so
all done.
thank you. You're welcome, everybody.
Your
All the Han
suggestion
fans out
came
there.
in via old item reintroduced.
That's right. Oh, Ghost. on the high
Baboka,
ground.
he is cooked here.
Baboka, yeah, looks to be dead, although Rolling Thunder coming in. Baboka and Yamich will trade
Oh, they have
lives.
Sumail.
They get Sumail. The stun is there. ET ult disintegrates him. He is dead. We're going to be able to find a couple more supports on the back end. So 2 for 3 so far as Noob has arrived. Oh, the Swashbuckle was really short range. Noob not sure who he wants to fight right now as the buybacks have come out on 2 respective members. This Fly. Gonna get X back.
Thunder?
The lasso onto, the Thunder is beautiful onto Noob. He pops the Crimson Guard though. Echo Slam used more than a defensive measure to get Noob the space he needs to get away. Beyond, can he find him? No.
No
Unless
way
he can hit a huge swashbuckle here, but he is slowed to a crawl with the hairball.
He actually got out of that?
Noob is fine.
Wow, okay, that's crazy. Clutch from Yamich to lock them all down and secure that escape for Noob. He's a very big kill, 11-1 currently. Take him out.
I mean, what's the next item for Noob? He's got SNY, Crimson Guard, a casual cloak. Is he going to upgrade this cloak to Glimmer or Pipe, something like that?
I think Glimmer would be cool. He's eyeing of Lotus for now.
Remember, Glimmer was nerfed in the passive department, right? 5% less magic resist now.
Less magic resist, but bigger barrier. I think the Lotus is solid. It's also very standard for It's not Rocket Bristle to go for. Lotus in this game, he can remove sticky napalm stack. He can reflect lasso, just like last game. A couple of big plays against the Bat Rider with that from him.
Yeah.
Wants to repeat that success.
He'll be able to take off the silence from Void Spirit Ags, which is 1,200 away.
I think Sumail should get this Aegis, but he's in base, so just they're giving it to Ghost.
Yeah, not the best hero for it.
It's all right. It's just when you saw how the last fight broke out and what Yakult were able to accomplish, feels like they want the Tinker more so than anyone else when possible. I think Tinker is a really good Aegis hero. But of course, it doesn't really matter if you're not going to find a fight around him, but since he can be in literally any fight you take, it shouldn't be too difficult, right? You just need any fight to break out, and Tinker's a part of it. Emo close to Ags. Will be a massive improvement here. Tinker does not have a solution for it just yet. Sumail working on BKB next.
Yeah, Midas is paying off, Cinderin.
I mean, I guess. I don't know how much it's doing, but
Well, there used to be a number on how many uses pays off for itself / becomes worth it, right?
But that can easily be a logical fallacy as well, right? Because you're like, okay, now it has paid for itself, but you got to remember what you didn't get.
Yeah, yeah.
Like maybe if you had something else than the Midas, you would have found another kill or won a fight or survived one time.
I mean, but if it becomes a 60-minute game, then it's worth it.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
At that point, you need to have died a lot for it not to be worth it because you didn't buy another item. Yeah.
Tier 2 taken out. Meanwhile, this Tier 2 still pretty healthy. Ghost arrives to defend.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Nigma got the best of both worlds. They take and defend.
I actually can't believe Flyfly is 4th on net worth, top of his team. That is shocking to me.
He's playing terribly. It should not be shocking to
That were you not watching the beginning of the game?
Yeah, but he's Terrorblade, and that's why he's 4th and not 1st.
Okay, got it.
If his early game was good, he would have been 1st. So,
But it's only 1,500 difference.
yeah, it's not that bad.
It's so insane. He's going for the Scotty. More expensive now, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
a lot more stats.
Seems like a very powerful item now. 35 all attributes is a ton.
Oh, Emo! That Echo Slam set up by the Manta to try to get rid of the laser. That was not great. Emo gets destroyed. Lucky for him, Midas will be available when he's up.
That's right. Got to focus on the positives here. I think that's how you're thinking as a player as well. Whenever you die, you're like, at least I have Midas.
That's right. Sumail, only the recipe away from a BKB.
Yeah, he'll have it when it matters.
Things are looking good for NGX after
Absolutely.
a game 2 where I think you and I agree they, I think, played 9 times out of 10 in that same state at the late game. They would lose. Maybe not 9, 8.
Yeah,
like 8 out of 10.
They would lose the majority. Sumail protecting this wisdom, very important. Ollie was trying to snag it here, but won't be successful. Sumail gets his level 21 off of this. And I haven't talked about this too much, but of course Tinker, a traditional hard counter to Terrorblade late game. That's with the old laser Ags that was just AoEing all of them, but you can get there with especially level 25, the 200 AoE laser. The bouncing laser used to bounce one more time, I believe, than it does now against TB. It's gonna connect on Ollie here with GH, nice and easy. Big for the two of them. The map feels very small right now for Yakult Bros. If you try to go out anywhere and you get skirmished on, you know Tinker is always a +1.
Yeah.
The supports are so good at killing between the Shaker and the Willow, and
He'll
showcase
find
just
another.
that.
Emo gonna try to counteract this, but you can see Sumail keeping right on top of him. Gets a nice laser onto 2. As Beyond does get his Rolling Thunder off. Baboka, though, lasered down into the grave. As Noob leads the way, and now they can start to pound on these buildings a bit. This poke.
This is a dieback Bat Rider, by the way. It's a very old buyback. It's like 4.5 minutes ago, but of course the timer, the punishment is still there. So Nigma know they have a full minute of 5v4 with an Aegis. So technically 6v4. See Flyfly desperately trying to cut the mid wave to prevent them from pushing, but the bottom wave will still connect soon. And Emo dares to walk outside of base.
How dare you? He takes another Echo Slam. The tidal wave brings him back as well. He's rooted. The Echo Stomp should provide enough space, surely, to dissimulate away. That is a lot of damage from the ET, though, to try to counteract this. Emo still falls in the end. And they're going to find Ollie in his own base. Beyond is next on the list, and NGX just running over Yakult in this game 3.
3v1. And Bristleback pushes really fast. In spite of not having Seeing Red, just the number of Warpath stacks, and he doesn't give a crap about Fly as it looks. Well, he has to give a little bit of a crap. But here comes the laser. That'll put an end to any...
Oh, they're going to try for it. X, okay. He gets some help from his other Yakult bro. Building damage, not the best. They're going to find the lasso, but the defense matrix will lower that duration quite a bit. He gets a Sunder, but not going to do too much here. They do defend technically just because of the lack of damage from NGX.
Clutch matrix. That could have potentially been a kill on the Kunkka, but yeah. Protecting each other nicely between the defense matrix and the Rum, the tanky Bristol. These heroes seem difficult for Yakult to deal with. They just don't have that much damage just yet. They need to get there. Boke on the chase.
I don't even know what he's doing.
Well, he's baiting for now.
Yamich is close by. Yeah, they finally end up coming to help him out. Rolling Thunder. They want to kill GH. They will get him eventually. And they find a connection onto the Earthshaker as well, so Yamich will fall.
But
although the bigger kill onto Fly, he cannot find a Sunder target. The BKBs counter it. So he'll die, followed up by Ollie. So in the end, the baiting from GH ends up paying off.
Yep, 2 for 2, but one is the Terrorblade, so again, being slowed down further. And I was just going to say, when is Fly going to have a BKB? Because that just feels necessary. He's getting kited, he's struggling really hard. And after this Scotty Manta, it is next in his quick buy. But another 2,000 to go will easily be at least one lost lane, maybe even 2 before he will have it. And if any bad fight breaks out now, could just lose the whole game. Nigma don't look like they want to back off until they get this TB buyback. Noob is confident to stick around with the BKB on himself. 9 second already.
Yeah, Ghost just got an AC delivered, so minus armor to the towers. There's the lasso. The defense matrix going to make it super short again. ET ult to follow. That's a lot of damage onto the Kunkka. Not enough defense matrix to save his life this time, but Noob on his rampage. Gets a couple right clicks off on the Baboka. Sends him back to the fountain. But
all right,
from Yakult's point of view, they still hold.
They trade the Bat for Kunkka, not bad. But in the grand scheme of things, they traded Bat for Kunkka, well, and Elena Barracks. That's not so good.
They took 3 Jitty Pollen bags. These don't stack, do they?
I have no idea.
And one of them is upgraded with Emo.
I think it's just, they want some of that extra damage and health reduction on the Bristleback. It makes sense that they would want at least one of them. I don't know if 3 is the way to go, but...
Well, it is long cooldown, so if you layer them...
Yeah, true.
45-second cooldown, 12-second duration.
Could also be one of those things where the players can see there's a new item, so it's probably bugged. Sumail either got the shard there or died to Tormentor, 50-50. He did get the Warp Flare, so good news for him. It was the right outcome. And he now has E-Blade too. Mega strong here on the Tinker.
Oh, yeah. NGX in insane position right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So from Yakult's perspective, you talked about the BKB needed for Fly. He's going to be going for that next. Nullifier's close for Emo. That's going to help with the defense matrix, with the E-Blade, and I guess the Yules and the Ghost Scepter. Okay, and a 4-step. There's a lot.
You got any more in that bag of secret?
That's a lot. Oh boy.
Instant
Echo Slam. Not a lot of damage because of the shield crash, but they find it in the end anyway.
Such a quick punish from Yamich. It was on top of that instantly.
Yeah, he's been insane this series.
On the Shaker.
And the Tusk.
Yep.
Wait, who did he play game 1? Is it also Tusk?
I don't remember anymore. It's too long ago.
Yeah.
can look it up for you if you like.
Yeah, go ahead, Alt-Tab.
I'll do that.
I enjoy you. You do that for pretty much any reason anyway, so.
That's just flat out not true at all.
Yep. Check the scores on NBA.com while you're there.
Yeah, this is some massive projection if I've ever heard it.
Ghost again picks up the Aegis.
So in game number 1, he played the...
Still waiting.
Shadow Shaman. Yeah, that's right. Shadow Shaman. Oh, small sample size, Shan, but looks like they're winning the 2 games where he's playing melee support.
Yes,
Lost
indeed.
the one where he played range support.
Yes, indeed. That's all you need to know if you're the coach.
That's enough to conclude everything on. Just put him on the melee ones.
Ghost gonna run into Fly.
He has BKB now. He can get out.
Does.
He's gonna have to use it.
Get X back into the torrent. Yamich is here as well.
How long do you want to... Oh, my God, that was way too close for comfort.
Surprised he waited on the fissure, if I'm being honest.
He didn't even know the fissure was there, right? It was
Yeah.
just by chance that he got it off. Had he waited half a second longer, he would have been dead. It's like, what were you hoping for? You had no teammates nearby. You know it's not really a full bluff. Like, they would not... I don't know. So that's just an insta-nightfall right there. But he did the delayed nightfall, and he still fell out, so that's good.
True.
Stayed alive.
This is our moment, Jix.
The true nightfall is to also go to the barber and say, fuck this shit up, man.
You BKB TP out to the barber.
19K lead for NGX. They got that Aegis. Again, their building hitting is kind of meh. Noob is probably the best at it, but Ghost is the one with the Aegis, so he will frontline, and we got the Roche banner in play, which means Yakult gonna have to do something here. Okay, good amount of damage onto the Kunkka again. He'll pop the BKB. Gets the tidal wave off. A little bit awkward here for him. He's stuck thanks to the fissure.
Not sure how much I love that BKB. He still had Aegis.
Still had Aegis, and he still does. Either way, Noob will be like, all right, I can hit buildings a little bit harder.
Yeah, and safer.
It's a slow siege, slow burn.
Yep.
Fly does use meta, though, and Noob with the BKB. Feel like they just wait out the meta now and just re-push.
Yeah. Probably feels like he has to do this to break the banner. But, as you said, that's a big cooldown. And Nigma Galaxy will have plenty of time after this meta ends while still having Aegis in hand. So effectively, Terrorblade without meta is kind of like... I don't know how big of a percentage of the hero you would say you lose when you don't have it. It's a pretty decent chunk of it.
It's better with Shard now.
Yeah, it helps to have Demon Zeal, of course, but it's, yeah, significantly worse. In particular against the type of lineup he's facing. Playing melee TB into Shaker, Bristle,
Yeah.
and Willow Brambles, no fun. And yeah, Nigma Galaxy, they'll go straight back in. They know this meta is down now. Gives them 60 seconds of 5 versus 4.6. We'll get to work here. Getting slept first. They do have a range creep alive still, so backdoor will not kick in until someone deals with this wave. Emo will try his best. Mission failed. The wave is still alive.
They can make this difficult just by killing the waves. Like you said, their building hitting is absolutely pathetic. Kunkka at half HP already. This is life number 1. Might have to burn it here. Lotus applied. And avoid some pressure as a result. There's the lasso initiation. It's the Aghanim Scepter, brings 2 with them. That's life number 1 of the Kunkka. Now Emo, stun lock for the time being. Echo Slam with the boat as well, and the laser, he's dead. Does have buyback though. We'll have to expend it surely as the tidal wave on the Fly will just casually scurry away. And Noob and company, in all likelihood, should be able to secure this set of racks as Fly forced the BKB with super low HP, looking for the Sunder onto Sumail. Full HP for Fly now. Down goes Sumail. Buyback from the Void Spirit as Ghost. That's the second life dead. As Emo, he is taking tons of damage from Noob, will eventually be able to find the distance. Echo Echo Stomp onto 2, though. As Noob and company, well, Fly evaporated there.
Where did he go?
He evaporated.
Hello?
That was, we have to see a replay on that.
I think this laser's
The laser made him so
ray.
tiny. And that might be the end of the game, honestly, although the building hitting still hasn't gotten any better. But 70 seconds of no Terrorblade. And this is going to be the second set, surely, beyond. Man, they're doing all they can to try to defend, and they're doing a decent job in all
They brought back the bat. He has lasso
he
here.
doesn't want to work with that defense matrix, though. The melee rack survives. This is so strange. Here we go. Oh my god, it was E-Blade laser? That's basically it, man. Jeez.
He did have a death animation. I just didn't see it the first time around. He died so fast.
That was insane.
Oh. Yeah, you can barely contain yourself watching Terrorblade die over and over.
It's nice.
You're loving this.
It's nice. Thank you, Sumail.
Yeah. Well, now you know, Shannon, if you're playing against Terrorblade, all you got to do is pick Tinker, which I know you love this hero, so you only have to become the lesser evil, but still evil, that you hate.
Yeah, well, the difference with Tinker is he's not picked literally every game.
He is in pubs, I think.
I don't care. Not in my pubs. Nobody's good enough.
That's right.
As Noob finally will come back to get this second set. God, their building hitting is so atrocious.
Bristol is not that bad.
Could be better. Where's that Troll Warlord when you need him?
Yeah, or Tiny. Or old Nature's Prophet, of course, but that's not hero. Where's the friend when you need him?
Yeah, true. Rest in peace, Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, you're now only an S tier support. I'm so sorry for you.
That version of Nature's
Very
Prophet.
unfortunate. You have been degraded to being a better support.
Do they have breaks for him at all? Because they're going to try for it. Lasso, initiation.
Oh, they have
actually
damage.
do have the damage. ET ult rips him a new one.
He was facing the wrong way.
Yes, he was.
Easy kill when he's looking forward. No need for breaks when
big
he's not.
pick off for Yakult Bros.
I'll recover a gem here for Ollie. Wait, Ollie bought Octarine. Okay. I didn't even notice until now on the Elder Titan. Lower cooldown on his spells. It's a pretty cool idea in this game in particular, because I think you're forced to play backline the whole game. I don't think you can ever come in close against Shaker Tinker, so it's better to just get your stomp more frequently. And you do cut down the cooldown of your combo to 12.8. This is obviously the Astral Spirit that is the limiting factor, so that has the longer one.
And we'll know about Roche in 30 seconds.
This game is not over yet, surprisingly, but
It would be with a single building hitter.
a final
NGX has outplayed Yakult in this game
without a doubt.
pretty highly. Off the back of that game, too, momentum, of course. And
Yeah.
that's a big part of it, the mental.
Fortunately enough, when you made that statement, you have about 50% chance to be right. So.
Sumail continuing to upgrade the Dagon, so... Actually, what is he at now?
I think it's Dagon 5.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Kind of maxed out now.
So he can just wait for the Terrorblade.
It's time to buy a
For the
Moonshot for
BKB.
your Bristol to hit the buildings.
Yeah, that would be nice. But E-Blade into Dagon, or Laser first, I guess. E-Blade, Laser, Dagon. Does that kill a Terrorblade?
Not quite, I think, but 2 combos definitely will.
That's so insane.
He's gonna, I'm assuming, go Arcane Blink next, you would think. But sometimes we see Tinkers go Overwhelming as well. Whichever one you like better for the game. Sumail, of course, with the true gamer posture. If you're trying to get better at the game, people talk about gaming chairs. They don't talk enough about sitting like this.
That's very good for your knees.
Very ergonomic. You stay young. While you play, you train your thighs, which is effectively, he's min-maxing life.
Imagine
posture.
Imagine playing Counter-Strike, a pro with that. There's no way.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to sit like that and have your face next to the screen as well.
That's right. You got to lick the monitor for good luck.
Yep. Actually, a common problem in Counter-Strike that makes them pause is that the monitors
damage
fog
taken
up.
by Emo. Sorry, you were saying really important.
Yeah, the Counter-Strike monitors, they get foggy, so they have to pause and get out the cloth.
Oh, yeah. The spittle.
Are scanning.
Second smoke. Yakult Bros know that this fight will decide the game. Emo's in there.
Oh, starts things out onto GH. Gets off the Shadow Realm in time. Meanwhile, Beyond focusing on the Earthshaker. Very nicely played so far from the Yakult side. They get the Earthshaker, but that's the buyback now. Have they run out of steam? Emo with the BKB will have to dissimulate away. Sumail popped the BKB for himself as well as the fight resets a bit. Meanwhile, Yamich doesn't reset for him. That's a dieback. That's a big one.
Oh, okay.
So NGX at the number disadvantage.
Yeah, they probably just want to call it quits here. Just chill. No BKB on Sumail and a dieback on Shaker. Yamich with a basically zero impact fight, just dying twice in a row. GH managed to somehow escape there out of the Shadow Realm after being initiated on. His Shadow Realm blinked away. But now, I think the Yakult Bros feel a little bit hungry for more, knowing they have a 5v4 for a minute and a bit. It's either the fight itself or the Roche, which we have just seen cross the river. He is heading home to his other home. It's time to go on a summer vacation in the northwest.
Yep, Roshana is waiting.
Yep.
Lotus onto Noob. Just poking and prodding. They have the Silver Edge available to them. The lasso to start things out. Noob is super healthy, though. Fly in the middle of all of this. Trying to focus on anyone that will allow him to right-click him as Ghost with the Crimson Guard. Mitigating a ton of this damage. GH is dead, though. That's 2 dead for NGX. And Beyond with the ult, stunning several targets. A nice swashbuckle. They're going to get the connection as well as Ghost trying to limp away. Looks like the Aggro Realm will save him as the Terrorize onto 3 in retreat, but Sumail falls nonetheless. And he cannot get back in the game. No buyback at all as GH. It's going to potentially be a death for him as well. And Emo and company not stopping anytime soon. No way for GH to get back either.
And as you said, I hate to give you props, but you're right. Nigma Galaxy definitely snowballing off that momentum of Game 2 here.
There are so many back and forths in this series. It's very confusing to me. And the stun lock on the Fly will focus on the buildings. And for Tinker, I'm not sure if they timed it exactly. He's 30 seconds away from
Thunder,
the timer.
nice
Yeah, the Thunder gets reflected.
Okay.
Can't do much against this Bristle still.
This is such a long 5v3.
Yeah, and they're actually going to back away before even getting that out.
They have to take care of the waves. But bottom lane and top lane under siege by massive creep waves. So Void Spirit will take care of that. I'm guessing you settle here for the Roche. Yep. Sumail looks like he's itching at the back of his neck. Maybe the posture starting to feel a little bit. Got. All right, can we get the reaction shot of the final 2 Nigma Galaxy players being disappointed as well, please? That was 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I was really mesmerized there, actually.
It's good to see that they're united in disappointment.
Yep. Need to get a karaoke cam as well. Beating the shit out of somebody in the back of the room.
Yeah, taking a clip of Kuroki taking his belt off.
As the Aegis now onto Fly. So, I don't know. They don't get a barracks in return, but taking away Roche and now getting the goodies on Roche, pretty big deal for Yakult.
Dare I say this game's even now? Is that a bit of a stretch?
This series is so weird.
I don't know. Like, you're 2 racks down and the third lane is open, but...
It feels like I'm casting Aurora versus Bet-Boom.
Yeah. I don't know why it would feel that way.
Because
these games
like
have nothing in common.
Kiyotaka versus GPK Cinderin. It's something to behold.
Okay, so
getting some of those vibes right now.
So you're saying Sumail has
I guess
thrown the game?
It's more emo, I guess, from the last game. It's just stuck in my head.
Okay, so Kiyotaka is GPK and and Kiyotaka at the same time.
Just allow me to have this reference, for God's sake.
I will never allow you to have a reference that's just bad, Shannon. You can do better. This is what friends do, Shannon. They empower each other. They expect something of each other, and you try to bring it up. So,
but I expect nothing of you. So, what does that mean?
It's a one-way friendship.
I see. Smoke from Yakult.
That's
Beyond very early.
He's just hoping
Thunder.
someone's here. It's just a gamble. He does no vision.
Yeah, but Emo will find one. Gonna force the BKB out. Nice fissure from Yamich. It's gonna make it pretty awkward for Yakult to continue here. Pop the Crimson as well as
find an angle is the question.
NGX gets back to their base. It's going to be another 60-minute barn burner. I can feel it.
Yep.
Deep within the bowels. As Baboka stealing the Wisdom Shrine.
He'll take his own as well, trying to get some serious experience. Never mind. I guess that one isn't cool enough. Emo's already 25. He doesn't need it. Somebody should take that Wisdom for sure.
You can save it for a rainy day.
Are they close to any meaningful level ups? I guess not. They have all their 20 talents, and the 25s that are in reach, all 3 cores have them. On the side of Nigma Galaxy, similar story, with the exception of GH, still looking for a level 20 talent, and that one's actually pretty big. The Bramble Maze cooldown reduction is a crazy level 20 talent.
Minus 7, huh?
GH was hoping to get that from the Wisdom Shrine, but it's taken, and now he will just get it from the camp. And there it is. So effectively cutting the cooldown by about 33%, going from 22 to 15. Very, very strong talent. Baboka again.
2 minutes on this Aegis for Fly. He's had this silver edge for quite a while. They haven't really found a clean connection. I guess they did find one onto Noob earlier, but been few and far between. As the tier 2 tower will be there, so only one tier 2 tower remains at the top for NGX.
Dire's courier has been
Do you not attempt to go high ground here with the Aegis at some point? I mean, based on the last game, the answer is no.
It's difficult to push into the Nigma Galaxy lineup. There's so much garbage. You can get Fissure blocked. Tinker on defense is a crazy hero. Kunkka has big crit cleave. You need to get through Bristleback. I don't know. It's really hard to push base without finding a pick first.
Yep, Ghost is going to find one. Boat does connect as Beyond comes in with the Shivas and his Rolling Thunder as Ollie's destroyed by Noob, still hitting like a Mack truck.
Oh,
they're going to find a double lasso onto Sumail and Ghost, but the counter initiation is there with the Terrorize and now the mass BKBs as Emo trying to apply some pressure to get the double Astral Step onto 2 heroes. Yemesh trying to get to the low ground, but Sumail is in a lot of trouble. He's taken out, does have his buyback available. Noob now on the run. GH just died to collateral damage. And Ghost comes with a huge crit onto Ollie. Emo super low. They get the tidal wave onto Beyond. Laser to death by the buybacking Sumail. Yamich brought back with the Aether Remnant. Baboka will kill him off. Meanwhile, Baboka will die to the mass damage from Sumail. Eventually. One more burst of that Dagon to go.
Okay. Somebody won there. Apparently Nigma Galaxy on raw economy. Look at Ghost's damage.
Double buyback for Yakult.
Ridiculous. 12,500 damage from the Kunkka there. That's insane. All right.
So 2 buybacks expended on supports for Yakult.
And
the
Tinker
big one
for
Sumail. And Noob onto the high ground. The one hero that can actually hit buildings. They want to get these megas. Gonna force out one buyback. Do they care?
Yeah, they're gonna nullify him immediately. Get rid of the shield rune.
They're gonna apply quite a bit of damage. The break is still active with the stun to follow, but now the Crimson Guard mitigating a ton of damage. Noob is gonna be fine for now. Pops the BKB in retreat. Now Ghost comes with a huge crit, but the Sunder to follow. Fly. Very respectable HP now as the NGX resetting. He's gonna continue to chase is Fly. Gonna get a reflection off. It will slow Ghost to a crawl. Noob nullified again, but no follow-up. Baboka kills a courier. Really important to mention that right now. This very important team fight is Fly is going to pop the BKB. Zed half HP right now. Does have the Sunder available. He can find a target. He does. Onto Sumail, but Sumail able to get out just in time. Emo. We're going to force one buyback onto Kunkka. There's the Echo Slam coming and onto Fly. Brings him down. He has buyback. Uses it. Meanwhile, Sumail, this is going to be a dieback for him. He's going to get the E-Blade off, though. With the BKB still activated. Lasering continuing. Gets the Warp Flare onto Emo. Rooted continually. You cannot escape him. One more death for Emo. Buyback intact. Buyback's not intact any longer.
No, they know the push is coming.
The
they
only
need him alive.
buybacks available now are 3 members of NGX. So we've seen this before on the other side. 3 buybacks versus 0. Can NGX follow through?
This is a complete 4v5. Pango is out for 90 seconds, and they know he doesn't have buyback because he just died back. So So if Nigma Galaxy keep their cool and get a good initiation angle, this could be their game now. Echo Slam not ready, which is their primary initiation, to be honest, if you're looking for burst.
Terra Wave at the ready. They want the Megas. Ooh, a Divine Rapier for Emo.
Midas paying off.
Not going to be having their Pango available, though.
Nigma Galaxy hesitating to go for the killing blow here on the barracks. They're going to keep doing it with X marks.
Don't quite have Echo Slam yet. X marks. Okay, the
Lasso.
lasso, though. They want this Bristol back.
They got him.
He is not going to die because of the token. He does finally get dropped, but the buyback is still there. Oh, the Echo stop onto 4 heroes. What? No follow-up, though. Emo goes in with the silence. We'll have to astral step away.
Oh, that's a big cleave. Fly, fly.
Oh, the fissure, the Terror Wave is not going to prevent Sumail from going any further, but he's actually isolated. Gets off the E-Blade, fly with the Lothars. Will be able to get out, but they lose their barracks. This is Mega Creeps now in favor of NGX.
This game is still not over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is the type of game where Megas can be alive for quite a while before the deciding fight comes out. I think at this point, Nigma Galaxy would be wise to just play the map and wait for next Roche. Get themselves
wait for those tier 5s.
Bigger advantage.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, you're also juggling with the buybacks of the enemy team. You know that there's no buyback on multiple heroes, so...
Yeah, but for you as well.
Yeah.
You only have 2 on your 2 supports.
Very delicate late game here, but of course the Mega Creep advantage is very significant. Not really because they're going to struggle to kill the creeps, but just having to constantly go back and defend is the bigger deal here. And you don't have a hero like, say, Ember Spirit that can do it and still be in the fight, or some sort of global presence hero that's able to do both simultaneously. It's a true commitment whenever you TP back. Kunka now gets the egg.
Oh, wow. Late game Ags. All right, the cannons.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the best thing he could have bought. Yeah, is Moonshard not better, actually? Like... How good is that ghost ship by now? The second, I guess the fleets are just that valuable.
I mean, they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. The fleet of 2 ships instead, just getting the extra stun. Suppose that might be more valuable than anything else he could have slotted in. We saw when Satanic was playing Carry Kunka the other day, he went for a very different build. He went Rapier and Blink on defense. Ghost with more of a stay in front kind of build here. Roche time for Nigma Galaxy. With the waves constantly pushing in, it looks like side of Yakult will let him have it.
Yep, all the goodies for NGX now.
Aegis for Noob. And Refresher on Shaker, but he needs to be careful with his mana economy here. He only has 1,000 mana to work with. Refresh ult costs 700 already, and he has 1,000 total. So has to be careful not to overplay it with Fissure and Enchant Totem and to enter the fight with full mana to begin with, if he wants to get everything off twice.
Another barn burner.
Yep.
Teams are really having trouble finishing games today, it seems.
Yep.
Now, with the Mega Creep advantage, you could theoretically starve them out just for a couple minutes and get the tier 5s before them. Is that, you think that's the strat?
I think that's the best play. But I also think Yakult will try to counterplay that exact play. I don't think they're going to just let them run the map for the next 3 minutes and get all those items. I think when we approach the 1 hour mark, Yakult will look for a smoke play of their own. And if they catch Nigma off guard when they're splitting...
Oh, Emo! Manta helps out the Echo. It's a double Echo. That's a dieback.
Okay, that's the best play. They can find that.
All right.
That's probably just... Please tell me the game doesn't just end here now, after everything we've been through.
One pick off on the Emo.
With a Rapier on Ghost now. He has no buyback. They have to try to defend 4v5. I was looking forward to an epic fight with buybacks here.
Yep, that was epic for one team.
Yep.
So this turns into a 5 versus 4, not including Aegis and Cheese. Advantage NGX. Rolling Thunder at the ready. There's the Roche banner, placed at a pretty good spot. Noob will have the BKB in retreat to wait out this Rolling Thunder. There's going to be a second one available for Beyond, though, as Roche's banner is eventually slain. Fly on the cover. Oh my god, the crit is insane. Gets off the Thunder, though, but it's reflected, so he's still low. Noob, first life down. This is the second Rolling Thunder now, so Beyond not going to have that much at his disposal here in the near future. And remember, Emo's still dead for a full minute. There you see the cannonball spraying all over everybody's faces as the ET ult goes off. Laser onto Baboka.
That's Yamich.
The buyback for Yamich is NGX can just try to hit these buildings a bit. They can wait for the meta, but I believe he has Refresher on Fly. Really hard to deal with that timing. E-Blade dagging again. Fly has the Manta in retreat. Tier 4's down. Are about to be last fortification likely of the game.
There's so many creeps.
Lots of marching machines as well. Mega creeps in the base as Noob will pound away at this Ancient right now. Flying Company get Gleipnir onto 2. The Fly does get off the BKB with the Refresher, so the meta is there along with the Terror Wave, but just doesn't do enough damage.
Emo's about to respawn. They managed to survive for 80 seconds here.
And it looks like NGX will retreat as a result of that.
Time for tier 5s.
That's true, although Emo wants to get aggressive. Can get stun locked for a bit. Will dissimulate in retreat, and yeah, tier 5s.
Sleep on Samael.
Oh, we got the double lasso. Do they have the damage to follow? Yamich with a big Echo Slam, though. Emo with the BKB. They're going to be able to take out Samael once. Can they force the buyback is the question. Beyond. Rolling Thunder. They're going to be saved by the Echo Stomp, actually. So it gets back into his base. The Ancient is at half HP. Remember, Samael can always buy back and TP in at any point.
Ollie now, hitting level 25 on the Elder Titan, has the 100% cleave talent. So he can actually kill creep waves on the ET to relieve a little bit of pressure from his other heroes that otherwise have to take care of this constantly. Now he becomes a valid wave clearer. It's time to queue up that Maelstrom that Insanio was queuing up yesterday and then immediately changed to Yules, of course. I don't know why he had it, but some attack speed and some...
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that Emo sold his Midas at some point.
Yeah, that's how he afforded the Radiance, Rapier, I think. Well, Ghost retained the Rapier. He now has Spider Legs. Oh. Who else has got something? Bristleback has a choice to make. Helm of the Undying, Fallen Sky, or Spider Legs. For the Willow, Book of the Dead, probably going to be the pick.
Yep, I would think so.
Yamich. Oh, he missed the
Echo Slam.
Oh, very quick jump from Emo.
He's too busy looking at his neutral items.
I don't even know if they could have killed him. Did he? Maybe they could. I guess they could. Ghost hits pretty
Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
They had a second choice of Book of the Dead as well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so Willow took it. So that's 2 books. Yep. Willow and Shaker. And Tinker.
Now, this was nerfed. Oh, Helm of the Undying. The Book of the Dead was nerfed. It does piercing damage, which is half damage to buildings now. So
Mael's Book of the Dead has a 32-second cooldown because he's Tinker. The other ones are 80. Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Emo.
He's really trying to get enough neutrals for his item.
He's on the other side of the trees here. He's Is he stuck there?
Yeah, he doesn't have a jump yet. Now he does.
Okay. All right, we have Fallen Sky on Fly.
Interesting
and
choice.
It is Helm of the Undying on Noob.
Yep.
So even if they kill him, it's going to be so hard.
Yeah, he still hits very hard after that.
And you don't want to expend stuns for a Ghost. It's always this awkward.
Yeah.
As we're seeing Book of the Dead, constant pressure on the base of Yakult. They have no fortification either. I feel like this is a decent time to go in for NGX.
Look at all these books.
There's a damage rune in the bot river. I don't think they're going to see it, though.
Radiant's Ancient is under
Oh, new one spawns. Arcane rune, another.
Oh my god, they're just feeding them Books of the Dead. This is a lot of gold, man.
It is. It is constant pressure. The Ancient is back at full HP. It heals relatively quickly. There's Nuke with the hairball onto Fly. Gonna continue to hit this building. Fly's really low, looking for the Thunder target, but the laser, oh my god, they actually get him. He has the buyback, we'll have to use it right away. Beyond with the Rolling Thunder, now Nuke pops the BKB to mitigate everything. Gonna try to reset for the side of NGX. Goes with the spider legs, gets the X onto Beyond, but you can see the roll up again into Rolling Thunder thanks to the refresher. Emo jumps in really deep onto Sumail. Able to jump away, but no, the lasso brings him up to the high ground. Terror Wave to follow, he's dead. Buys back. Echo Slam now onto the Terror, but this will be a dieback if they can get the stun lock on him. Do they have the damage? He's gonna pop the BKB. Fly with the Thunder. Vela has to use it on the teammate. Tidal Wave now onto 2. They take out the other Titan. That's a buyback for him now. Meanwhile, another fight Sumail. Remember, he just popped back, pops the BKB. Trying to retreat. Gets the Dagon onto Emo. Emo has to Astral Step to safety, but Yamich is dead with the Enchant Totem. Emo will survive thanks to another to stimulate. Fly, BKB, Terror Wave as well. Thunder's
no way he's
noob.
defending this. No way.
Actually has the damage to get this. No, that is a dieback onto the Terror Blade. Ancient at half HP. Buyback now into the Kunkka, but this is only 3 members of NGX versus 4 of Yakult.
He buys back and recovers his rapier. Oh, baby.
I need a drink.
This is not over yet.
Let's do this. This is going to be a juicy one, a juicy ending.
Had that been a better Sunder target, they might have wiped them out. He wasn't able to sunder up much health on the side of Fly. Still, they got the Tinker die back. And Ghost was forced to buy back to recover his rapier there. Ancient down to half.
We said that about 3 minutes ago, and it fully healed, so.
Excellent choice from the side of Yakult to get Book of the Dead so they can fight Book of the Dead with it. They have a couple of them themselves.
Yeah, it's going to get X back. Another Rolling Thunder from Beyond. Feels like he has his up all the time. It's a shield crash as well. Emo not going to go any further, though. 60 seconds for Terrorblade. Buys Satanic in the grave. I guess he pops that in for either Refresher or BKB at some point.
Ollie now with Gleipnir and Ags. So much control, big AoE, and he can connect in if necessary on top of these heroes to remove all the base armor. The most Nigma Galaxy have in terms of base armor is actually Tinker with 20.
Radiant's Ancient is under
Book of the Dead. Anyone want some gold, boys? Yep.
Helm of the Undying. Just take it. Yeah, this is the best tier 5 item. I'm very confident in this. Very, very confident, Cinderent.
Based on the last game, this will be a great pickup for Emo, because he will be dying very early in the fight.
Yep. As long as other people die on the enemy team at some point, it'll extend the duration.
Just needs to get kills back the other way.
We're going to have Ghost versus Ghost here soon.
Yep.
No pun intended with the guy named Ghost in the game.
Oh, I thought that was what you meant.
Nope.
Oh.
Because Noob is the one with the Helm of the Undying. Roche number 5-ish. Approximate number at this point.
Ballpark.
Are they actually going to try to defend this? Rolling Thunder is used. Oh, the Fissure. Really good placement. Puts in an awkward spot. GH taking the brunt of the damage on the back line, though. He's dead.
Yes, bye.
Does have buy. Does he want to use it here, though? Roche is extremely low. Emo forced out completely. And looks like Roche will end up going to NGX in the end. Oh, Echo Stomp. Not going to hit anything.
Oh, Ollie!
Fly's on way out of there. Ollie gets taken out by Noob in the meantime. That's no buyback for him.
Noob just ran him down up in the triangle area, just frontline completely alone, found him, got the nullifier off, and bashed him to death. Of course, ET doesn't really have a counterplay to that except teleporting to his Echo Stomp, but that was on cooldown.
Ancient is still at half HP. They can try to go for it here as Emo shadowing. Gonna force the Refresher BKB from Ghost. He's X right now. And that's a Ghost, actually, I believe. But the Echo Slam comes in. He's still alive for 5 seconds. Needs to get a kill in the next 5 seconds to actually extend this duration. But he's all alone. He has the buyback either way.
That's a trade-off. Noob used his. This is a 5-on-4. I'm not sure why GH is waiting with this buy. If you guys want to go for the end here on Nigma Galaxy, bring the whole squad. They're holding on to the Willow buyback this entire time.
Greed.
And now it feels like a sunk cost fallacy where it's like, well, I only have 20 seconds left, guys. Just wait. But the problem is, if you wait for GH now, Ollie is almost alive too.
Yeah.
40 seconds feels like nothing in this game somehow. The teams are able to defend for very, very long.
Yeah, and Terrorblade. He's used meta already, has Refresher, so kind of need to make him force that out. All right, NGX, attempt number 5 at going to kill the Ancient.
Radiant's Ancient is under.
They have popped the Necronomicons, aka Book of the Dead. They are hitting the building slowly. The piercing damage, not very piercing indeed, onto buildings these days. Fly. Uses the Satanic already. Nope. Just waiting right now. More Necronomicons. They're not really doing very much. I'm not sure if they read the patch notes. They don't do anything to buildings at this point. And now Elder Titan's up.
Yeah.
They've waited quite a while. Ghost.
Fly playing with surprisingly little fear here walking forward, despite having no bye-bye.
Yeah, this is where the puns get really strong. And you can actually, I believe, start recrafting tier 5s, right? Isn't it 10 minutes after? Yeah.
After you obtain it, right? Or is it?
No, it's after
minute
60.
70?
I think it's
Okay.
just 60 to 7, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. They're starting to, but you need a lot of shards. You need 20 to recraft.
Oh, no, 20. What will you do?
You need to kill 10 neutral
that's-
camps to get 1?
That is incredible.
That's a lot
That
when
is
you're
so
in your...
hard.
They're in their base!
The whole map at the... Oh, I was talking from NGX.
Yeah, for Nigma it's easy, but for Yakult,
Well, why would they need to recraft? They barely even have tier 5s to begin with.
they have all of their tier 5s. Well, Ollie doesn't,
Yeah.
but everybody else does.
Yeah, they're fine with them. You can be picky if you're NGX because you have map advantage.
I think Fly might want to replace the Fallen Skies guy.
God, here we go. Fly.
Maybe he could get an Unrelenting
Satanic
Eye.
back up. The crits are pretty juicy from Ghost.
Or, of course, a Helm of the Undie. Oh, somebody died. It was the Tormentor.
Thought somebody died too. All right, more gold for NGX. Oh. I mean, I feel like, yeah.
When's the last time you've seen a Tormentor kill that did not give a shard? I feel like that's pretty rare now in Dota, that teams even bother
Yeah, that's true.
to kill it just for the gold, but... Oh, Nigma Galaxy.
I think teams are realizing that the Book of the Dead is not as good as it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's time to recraft GH. Let's see what he does. His options are... Okay, he went Book of the Dead. Okay, nice. Anyone else?
Samael did too. He recrafted it.
All right, Book of the Dead, good.
Okay, good. Yep,
We got the
keep it up.
Boundless. Boundless one's good.
The piercing damage is really good against creeps, though, so
Yeah.
they can help out their mega creeps.
Oh, nice. Ollie, still dreaming of tier 5 item. He's got 4 shards.
Wait,
4
has he
stones.
actually not made one, or he just decided not to make it?
He can't afford it.
Radiant's
He only has
Ancient
4
is
Mad Stones. Now he has 5.
Okay, he's getting there slowly.
Step by step. Lasso.
Lasso, defense matrix though, into the BKB. Samael should be fine. Even Terror Wave used along with Rolling Thunder. That's a lot of spells for Yakult.
Yeah, they have plenty of refreshers where that came from, though. They will force out the BKB, but keep in mind the Tinker BKB cooldown. Only
Aegis
38
expiring,
seconds.
by the way. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's recrafting this. Had that up for a bit.
Ghost.
Aegis gone.
Ghost can get a Helm of the Undying with probably Boundless?
I want to see 5v5 Helm of Undying versus Helm of Undying.
Oh, yeah. Give me that.
Ghost with a shield, and that is pretty ginormous at this stage.
There's still a couple nullifiers in play, though, so...
There's a there's a cheese. What is it called? Block of cheese.
Block of cheese.
On Bristleback right now.
Very good.
Extra barrier. They waited so long that fortification's back up again. Imagine if they had any building hittings this game. It would have ended 45 minutes ago.
Radiant's Ancient
All right, the
is
smoke.
under.
NGX want to go for this. Nope. In very deep. Fly. Already at half HP, getting lasered and fissured from afar.
Uh-oh. Okay. Instant smoke.
Yeah, we'll head back to base to heal.
They want to try to get an angle here to start off with Sunder. Never mind. He's going to heal up from the creeps.
Yeah, he has buyback anyway.
Yeah.
Nope. Greetings. Okay.
Emo BTB'd for that.
He sure did.
That's not bad. If they keep
sure
poking
did.
and prodding and baiting out defensive abilities.
Oko wants a lasso target. Sumail. Defense matrix, though. Gonna dissuade the old Bat Rider. Oh, the Yules actually catches Bristle, so they can't do the X mark shenanigans. He's gonna be forced to BKB. This is another Rolling Thunder from Beyond, but no connection. This is just a stalemate. Look at the Aether Remnants. Oh, that's the shard. It's like a little. It actually moves.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's like a clock going backwards.
A clock that we can't read, just like Roche Pit's
Yeah,
clock.
actually, this was inspired by the Roshan.
Yeah. That is a cool one. I don't know if it's good.
Does it always go counterclockwise? No, this one goes clockwise. All right.
Radiance are scanning.
Very cool.
All right. Are they even waiting for the next Roche? Like, does it even matter? They didn't want the Aegis. It just takes up a valuable slot now. Especially if you can get a Helm of the Undying, which I think they're regretting now.
Radiance
Ghost has
ancient
still
is
not changed his. I guess he just doesn't want to change it. There's no upgrade. Doesn't want to change his. Bristle doesn't want to change his. Shaker, with a choice to be made
Another
here.
Daedalus, okay.
Is this where Yamage takes the wise one for 1,000 XPM? No, he takes 40 strength.
Ghost checking out the Roche Pit. It's not up.
Have we ever seen a player take wise?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Not a single time.
76 minutes in. Stalemate still. NGX cannot finish the game.
Here's what we need. We need a tier 5 that allows you to eclipse level 30.
Dire are scanning.
So when you have wise, you can get to level infinite, and you can keep scaling attribute bonus, and you get your passive level up bonus.
I like that. Really, really good game design.
Yeah.
Infinite scaling is the best kind of scaling. That's why we're seeing so much success with the chainmail eating clockworks
Yep.
in pubs lately.
And of course, Legion Commander has been in the meta forever. Lie.
That's right.
Not sure what this means.
It means push.
Yeah. Or I should not have said that out loud. He gets tipped by Noob.
We got these useless Necronomicons ready to defend.
We just saw on the screen that we're now 18 minutes away from a tournament record for longest game.
Yeah, we'll get there at this rate.
Of course, the other one was with none other than Yakult Brothers, who seem to have contributed 3 out of 4 of the longest games of the tournament, if not all.
Yeah, after the game number 2, I can see why. They have a hard time finishing. I can say that for myself as well, but
And for
MGX in this
Roche.
game, in addition.
Yeah, Jenkins is
Another-
struggling. Whenever there's a sexual innuendo, you can expect Jenkins to fold over in laughter.
Fold over.
Yeah, he's giving up. He's flipping me off. Thanks for that. Can we get a little bit of camera on Jenkins, please? Be nice.
No need. No need.
Flipping me off again. All right, that's a 2 streak. Can he get the killing spree? All right, he's actually holding it.
All right, Noob. What's
Something
their
you struggle
strategy
with.
this time? This has this reminds me of a game last year we cast. Do you remember the 4 banners?
Oh, lasso?
Lasso.
Oh, that's
They
a
have a
target that
lot
can
of
kill.
damage this time. All right.
Actually lethal
Damage
lasso.
has died. Has the buyback, of course, because everybody at this
Oh
rate
my
has a
God,
buyback.
that
The cleave
cleave.
is insane. It's not enough to delete anybody at the 78-minute mark, though.
Yep.
You can see what their strategy is, though. They're got the double Daedalus with Divine.
Yeah. And this was where Satanic replaced, I think, the second Daedalus for a second Rapier. Because he thought the math was better.
Yeah.
This, you get more frequent crits here, but they're not lethal. But maybe with 2 Rapiers, they could be. Thank you for the law and order from Sumail.
The judge has spoken again. Ghost. Ooh. Gets him to half HP. Fly.
Ooh. Keep in mind the Necronomicons of true state.
This is the... that's true.
So,
You wouldn't know that by reading the tooltips, though.
no, there's a lot of things in Dota you wouldn't know if you read. Just have to try it. Eventually you will feel it yourself and hopefully come to the right conclusion.
So we have 6 Book of the Deads.
Books of the Dead.
Book of the Deads.
Hmm.
Am I Am I the only one that read the patch notes? These are not that good anymore. They're solid.
Yep.
The piercing just ruins it, though, doesn't it?
No, they're not that great.
I don't understand why we're seeing so many of them.
No. Oh, Sumail. He could take Divine Regalia.
Oh.
Being offered up the big one, and this is a sick one on Tinker.
Is this
20%.
recraft number 2 or 3?
I think it's number 3. Yes!
Oh.
Timeless Divine Regalia. And you know
Yeah.
what's also timeless?
This game.
This game. In the meaning of the word that it doesn't have, which is endless. Okay.
Damage. Emo. We've seen this before. This is a movie we've seen many a time. He has buyback, of course. Do I even need to say that anymore?
All right. What do you think he was trying to do?
Be not bored. All right, so NGX, I assume, will try to force the issue here a bit. Noob tickling the Ancient. It's a decent amount of damage. The Lotus will reflect the Yules. Now Noob puts himself in a weird spot. Buyback now onto the Void Spirit. Stunlock onto the Bristleback. He has the Helm of the Undying, though. He's stuck inside a ward. It looks like he's actually hitting the building for a lot. This Ancient is taking so much damage, but he does die because nobody else on the side of Yakult falls.
This is the next level strat, Shannon. You send in Bristleback, you all in the Ancient with him, he dies, and then your team fights around you and keep extending your life while you get the throne.
Yeah, but you have to kill some of their heroes to extend it.
Yeah,
right?
your teammates have to do that while you keep hitting the building.
That's why I feel like if they just committed, well, there was fortification still,
Yeah.
but every hero that dies, every enemy that is, 5 seconds extra. Okay.
Echo.
Yamich gonna find a Pango who just wanders up to the high ground, gets destroyed. Has the buyback though. Likely will be forcing a buyback onto the Bristleback as well. Got the lasso onto Sumail. Warp Flare applied. He's on the other side of the fissure as a big Terrorize hits 2 heroes. Echo's Prime is on the Terrorblade as well. Just another right click will do it. He's dead. Buyback again. Sumail, he's dead. Guess what? He has fucking buyback. That's right. Said it 100,000 times this game. Noob and Beyond gonna face each other in a match of the Rolling Thunder. He's gonna get Abyssal Bladed. We'll get another Rolling Thunder stuck in a corner. This is the worst basketball I've seen in my entire life. Baboka with the Wind Waker trying to get to the high ground. He's stuck. He gets Enchant Totem dead. Guess what? Buyback. Okay? That's not a buyback for once. Firefly at half HP with the BKB activated, looking for a Thunder target. Pops the Satanic, gets the Thunder as well. He's going to get Tidal Lift to the other side. Meta is doing so much damage with life number 1. The Aegis is there. Sumail.
That's a
dieback for him. 2 minutes on the deck. As Ollie and company trying to chase the Yules. Going to stop Ghost in his tracks. He is taking tons of damage, but he has a Divine Rapier. He's going to be able to destroy the Terrorblade. 3 dead for Yakult. As Baboka, one of the last remaining members, gets crit in the face by Ghost, and Ollie, the last remaining member for Yakult, trying to defend this Ancient. The GGs are called. This marathon of the game comes to an end. Praise Gaben. NGX wins it in 3.
Yeah, never doubted. Not for a second. See, they